Hypocrisy.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Lost Planning the Interwebs. I'm your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. I guess I'm allergic to being on time or something, so that's why my voice had to die in my throat just then. Don't know what that was about, but how are you guys doing? Welcome to the show this evening. Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's day has been good. Yeah, I have the lights on. It's Wednesday. Wednesday is a weird day. It's generally just terrible. It's in the middle of the week. Hump day, but no one cares about that anymore. That fad died a long time ago. So now it's just a day, and like nothing in particular happens on it. Happens on Wednesdays. So we're just kind of left with this thing, but we've got some stuff to talk about today. We do have a new document in Joshua Moon's valiant fight against the paralyzed face wild beast that is Russell Greer. That's happening. We're going to check that out. His response is good. I like it. I haven't read the whole thing, but what's included in it makes it funny by itself. So we've got that to talk about. We've got Texas. You can always rely on Texas to do something newsworthy. The Berserk author died? Oh, that's not good. Because, yeah, it was still going. What happened there? How'd they die? Hopefully they weren't, like, raped to death by a sky demon or something, like in Berserk. But, Texas. You can always rely on Texas to just go ahead and piss everybody off. And Texas has done it with their new bill, which does not make it illegal to have abortions after 6 weeks, but it does make it a civil lawsuit. And that is, one, hilarious because they don't really know how to challenge it. Two, this is big for dads. And that's what we're going to be talking about. That's what we're going to be talking about in regard to that. How Texas has BTFO'd the FetalQueens is what I'm calling them. But these are, I'm labeling it as a bill that aims to give dads some power. If a chick goes and just gets an abortion without your consent, now there might be a lawsuit about it. We'll have to see. And the penalties can be pretty steep. So we'll talk about that. Then we've got the SCOTUS, Supreme Court's Reform Commission, right? The committee that Joe Biden put together to go ahead and look at how the Supreme Court is functioning or not functioning and how it should change. They had their first meeting today. So I figured, depending on how far we get through the rest of the show, how long the other topics take and how that goes, we'll maybe take a peek into that as well. I also have more content in the Boogie versus Frank stuff that was left out of yesterday because I got kind of tired of going through the video. The interview with Keemstar was long. We didn't get to a certain section, so we'll have to get back. We'll have to get back to that and maybe take a peek at what else Boogie was saying, because that's just good stuff. So we'll see. We'll see. But first, I got a couple things in the mail today that I wanted to open up on camera here as we let people filter in, figure out what's going on. Have you seen the Biden fake driving video? No, I saw a screen grab from it, but I didn't see the video. I don't even know what it actually was. Oh, and I had another thing. Oh, I had a funny thing to look at too. It's not everything's funny. But okay. So here's what I have gotten today, and this is one of the things, is I got a new Ridge wallet. Oh, here we go. Am I too close? There we go. There it is. A new Ridge wallet today. Like I said, Ridge is sponsoring the channel, or will be sponsoring a couple videos, I should say, in the very near future. It's almost set up, but I got this new wallet from them, which is awesome. This is not actually a sponsored one yet. It's not finished. The sponsorship is not fully implemented, but this is one of their new wallet styles. I really like it. It's called Forged Ember, I think. Is that what it was? Yeah, Forged Ember. They're really cool wallets. I had the old one, the carbon. This is the carbon fiber one. This one was cool. I like it. But I'm happy to get a new one here. So, that's fun. And like I said, the Ridge, the promo code is already in. The promo code is NOSE. If you go to Ridge, in all caps, NOSE. If you go there, you can use the promo code right now. It should work for you. But, you know, the full sponsorship is not actually started yet. So that's one of the fun things I got today. So that's neat, I guess. But again, we'll talk more about Ridge when the full sponsorship is up or whatever. Because I have to say specific stuff. I have to say specific stuff. Do I get credit? No, not really. They pay me in advance. And then I guess if it performs well, they pay me again to do another one. So, but it's legitimately, like, Ridge is a product that I've talked about my wallet a couple times without them having an active sponsorship. They're just good. They're good products. And they help you eliminate the clutter that's in your wallet. And I switched a long time ago to carrying my wallet not in my back pocket, but in my front pocket, because I hated sitting on a wallet. And then I always had this giant ass wallet in my front pocket like a nerd, but it was just better than sitting on a wallet. And so then when I switched to the Ridge, it's just a much smaller thing that gets to go into the wallet. Or that gets to go into your pocket. Okay, but this is what I got that's more fun today. I ordered this like a year ago. I was not aware. I was not aware that adult the world of adult collectibles or collectible things, they're not toys, right? Because toys are for kids and these are for cool grown-ups. But I didn't realize how ridiculous this world was. Bandai, you know, these jerks. I ordered this like a year ago, and it's taken forever to get here. Get out of the box! Why would you put tissue paper around it? What kind of communist country were you made in? Oh, baby. That's right. We've got an Imperial Fist. So we got an Imperial Fist Space Marine. He's got a big bolter. So that's good. And then, what's this one? I ordered these so long ago. I have to remember what we've got here. Yeah. Jeez. Oh, yeah. And we've got a salamander. So I got these. These are the premium Bandai figurines. They can go along with my Ultra Smurf that I have. This one comes. I have to zoom this. I don't think they thought this art through. This one comes with premium dildo bullets on the rifle. So good job there, ladies. This salamander is locked, cocked, and loaded. Oh my gosh. What were they thinking doing that? Primaris Nick White. That's all they sell. Did I order the White Scars too? Did they have... Is the White Scars one out? Did I miss it? I probably missed it. So anyway, that's those are the things I got in the mail today. So all in just good fun here. All right, let's start with the super chats that came in before the show, and then we will get jumping into the content in just a second. Pre-order closes on the 28th. Oh, yeah, I'll order it. Okay. Woo. Wouldn't want to miss it. Richard Grubber says, can't stay, need to sleep. In Kermit voice. Damn, son. Were you frying chicken in there? Haha, for real, though. You pee loud as fug. Think that's pretty cool. That's a weird super chat, but there you go. The Dragon's Treasure says, Boogie needs some tranquility after this calamity. The T-puns need to end. Ray D2 Kill says, my UPS center is stupid. Got to be mask-free for 2.5 days, and because some cucks complain now are being forced to wear them again. That sucks. Sorry, man. Sorry to hear that from you. Pepsi Man says, rip Kentaro Miura, creator of Berserk, has died. And a big RIP. Berserk is a cool property. I've watched the Golden Arc, and I've seen some of the manga. I've never read the manga. Look, it's hard for me to get into, but it is cool stuff. It's a cool world that he built. And now that he's dead, I guess that sucks, because you'll never get the real ending of Berserk. Whatever happens, even if someone else steps in to fill the shoes, you're never going to get the actual ending. So that's lame. Funny Valentine 2024 says, well, Miura, author of Berserk, a personal favorite, just passed away. Ruptured aorta. So I think I'm just going to call it a night. Hope you and your family are doing well, Nick. Stay healthy and safe. All right, Funny Valentine. Sorry it's a bad news day as far as that goes. Yeah. Ruptured aorta. Like one of those things where you just die. Like I'm fine. Game over. Lame. Mithrin Emrys says, graduating from law school on Saturday. Hey, congrats, buddy. Having my law journal article published in June and the bar exam in July. Thanks for providing humor, rants, and hot takes when I needed a break from the slog. Hey, man, you're welcome. You better pass that bar exam, get it done, get it going, and get out there and start ruining the world. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. Okay. I have got some audio to play. Just for fun. Where is it? This is not what I'm looking for. Did I lose it? Here we go. All right, this is some audio just for you guys.
You are such a fucking idiot! If you read what Catholicism is, you'll see that it is literally horrible. Catholicism is right up there with capitalism in killing people and making this world a miserable, miserable place. So you practicing Catholicism means that you are no longer my mother, no longer someone I look up to, and you're just as bad as the person who murdered the cow to make that curse. So go ahead, carry your dead cow around, walk into your Catholic church, and listen to them preaching bigotry and hatred. And you can just become a freaking Republican if that's what you really want to be. Because you won't go to another freaking church. That's pathetic.
This is where people are. This is where the youth of America, this is how they're talking to their parents. This is what they're talking about with traditions. It was a purse, by the way. They killed the cow to make that purse. That capitalist murdering Catholic purse. That was a teenage girl yelling at her mom. That's when you say, get out. Get out. The video's really boring. Like, the video, you can't see anything on the video because it's like her brother or something is kind of just surreptitiously recording it in the background. No, it's not my kid. It's just someone on Twitter. I saw it. It's like, oh, good. I thought about opening the show with just that, but I thought that might be weird. But yeah, get out. Get out. You wouldn't want to live in a murder supporting house, right? Like, this house is Catholic, and Catholic people bought this house. And so you're supporting murderers by living here. Get out. Have the street welcome you. As Drex would say, you'll end up there anyway. But all these people. Hated 7 Days to Die says, did you not want to speak about something regarding Judge Middleton? It was mentioned 2 days ago, and you said it was a topic for the next stream, but was not. Yeah, it's. I mean, I could talk about it real quick. Thanks for bringing it up. Judge Jeffrey Middleton is a judge in Oklahoma. He's the guy who we watched him the other day when he was doing the Zoom court, right? And he had a YouTube channel, Zoom court, and Buttfucker 3000 shows up for the Zoom court. Pardon my English. But Buttfucker 3000 was the name that shows up on the Zoom meeting. And that was Judge Jeffrey Middleton, who's like, you're an idiot. Who would ever go onto the internet with that screen name, all of that stuff? He also has some other great Zoom moments. The Supreme Court of Oklahoma has strongly suggested, after the Buttfucker 3000 incident, actually, that Judge Middleton shut down the live streaming of the court videos on YouTube. They have the Supreme Court of Oklahoma, who originally ordered them to start live streaming, has shut it down. Now, they didn't order him to shut it down, but they strongly suggested that they shut it down. Apparently, he even got info from colleagues saying he was a disgrace to the profession and stuff like that, which is absolute garbage. To see stuff like that, and this is that weird sort of aspect where the legal profession tries to pretend that it's like noble, or that it has some greater mission that is above humanity, and they do this a lot. Lawyers do this. We saw it with the Chris Hook case, where if you remember the Chris Hook case, he had some choice words for opposing counsel, we'll say, in some emails. Those emails got leaked. Those emails were filed in court, and they were used to say that he was trying to like threaten or do something to opposing counsel. They went after him very, very hard. And the judge mentioned in that hearing as well that his he was getting emails from colleagues in Chicago, mind you, he's in California, talking about how this is just disgraceful behavior of a lawyer, like acting like lawyers aren't just people, and that there aren't a bunch of asshole lawyers running around, which is, by the way, almost all of them. Professional or not professional, lawyers are still people at the end of the day. They drink, they curse, they sometimes, very rarely, have sex with other people, like, you know, but only with a sheet between them with a hole cut in it, because that's like that. We're supposed to like pretend that lawyers are what Baptists pretend to be or something. It's ridiculous. It's so absurd. And judges do the same thing. It's like, oh yeah, we're not in here talking about the rape and murder of women and children all the time in court. We can't say the S word, though. The S word would be a bridge too far. Now, let's get to that triple homicide, suicide, civil liability case where the uncle is now claiming money, trying to profit off the death of an entire family. Like, as if the law were ever a noble profession in any way. It's not. It's a bunch of people. It's extremely messy. And all of this random decorum that people are trying to pretend exists in public doesn't exist in the courts. How do you have it exist when you've got a case where someone punched someone so bad so many times that they needed reconstructive surgery, or someone tore someone's testicles off, or someone's foot got caught up in a fucking oil axle or an oil rig axle, and it ripped their leg into tiny little shreds. And we're supposed to pretend like, oh, this is decent stuff. We wear white gloves here. No, you don't. No, you don't. No one ever has. It's always been this. I shouldn't say always. I guess there were times of puffy powdered wigs and stuff like that. But even in those times, you're dealing with reality, and reality is messy. And as reality has gotten messier and messier, things have become extremely gruesome. Family disputes over money get literally violent. So is the profession. It has to change and adapt to deal with that. So for judges to pretend that some guy came into a Zoom meeting with Buttfucker 3000 as the name is somehow like a big thing. It's not. That's nothing but funny. That's just an anecdote of something funny that happened in a court hearing, something that's normally mundane and dour and horrible. This is just a funny aspect of reality. And then now that but it went viral. It went around the Supreme Court. It's like, oh God, we've got to try and keep up the charade that everything that goes on behind these walls is entirely professional and sanitized. But it's not. It's not. And so they are shutting that down. Now, he does have he did a video and he talks about something that's really important. The courts in the United States are supposed to be open and transparent. They always are. And we've received a lot of pushback from that in recent times. The idea is that, well, we don't want people to know that someone's been charged with a crime. Which makes some sense because our society has collectively gotten so fucking stupid that we think that being charged with a crime means you committed a crime. We're such a cucked bunch of bootlicking pussies that we think that when the government accuses someone of something, that they're automatically guilty. And we'll sit there and lick the fucking leather until we can see our cucked faces in the shiny reflection because daddy government said so, so it must be. We're so fucking pathetic that we will sit there and do this over and over and over as we know that hundreds of thousands of people are incarcerated wrongly in this country because they're pressured into plea deals, because it's too expensive to fight, because cops fucking lied, because somebody planted evidence, because a judge was too busy jerking off to OnlyFans to actually look at the evidence of a case, or any number of other reasons why we really need to start questioning how much power we put in the hands of government because of their ability to deprive us of our liberty, our freedom, our treasure, our very fucking lives. And we give all this power to a bunch of fallible idiots and assholes. And then when these people fuck up literally constantly, but when they say, oh, well, someone, they're accused of a crime, we're like, oh yeah, that guy did it. That guy did it. Otherwise, why would he be on trial? I mean, what, do we even need to have one anymore? No, just put him away forever. And people aren't just getting off on technicalities. People aren't just getting off from some sort of judicial misstep. They're getting off because they literally didn't do it every single day. And we've got prosecutors who are promoted based on their conviction rates, which is an abso-fucking-trocity that is colossal. It's beyond anything. We are rewarding people in the state who are taking away the lives and liberties of citizens based on how effective they are at securing a conviction, not on how effective they are at administering justice. And because of that bullshit mentality that we have, that society has, that Twitter has. Well, did you know this person was accused of this? Well, they're fucking done. Pull them, get rid of them, throw them out, let them die in the street. That's the mentality, and it starts with getting rid of that presumption of innocence. So that's why we don't want people to know that we've been charged with a crime, because your employer says, whoa, you were charged with shoplifting? It's like, yeah, but I didn't do it. I mean, maybe you didn't, but they said you did. Like, I know they said I did, but I pled not guilty and I beat the conviction. Well, I mean, but you just won on a technicality. This is how these conversations go for people. It's life ruining, but it shouldn't be. Because the reason courts were transparent, the reason that this happened, the reason all of this system exists in the open was because when the government said somebody did something in the past, we said, no, they fucking didn't. You prove it. You prove it. And until you do, no, they didn't. That's where we started. That's what we used to look at courts as. That's how we used to look at cops. Suddenly we turned all that around. And I don't know why. So now people, oh, well, this guy's accused of robbery in court. He doesn't want people to know he's been accused of robbery. He should want everyone to know he's been accused of robbery, because there should be 30 people next to him saying, this guy wouldn't rob anyone. Are you crazy? You look at him. He's a Mormon. He's literally on his bike on mission right now. It's a Mormon. He's not robbing anybody. He'd try to stab him with a knife, and he'd end up cutting their sandwich and making them a gourmet salad. Like that. What are you doing? That's what we used to do. We were skeptical of the government. We were skeptical of the courts. We were skeptical of the cops. That's why Beyond a Reasonable Doubt actually existed. And so we should want transparency. We should crave it. But our society has gone so backwards on this, so backwards that we have just completely obliterated the presumption of innocence. And here's my simple test that everybody needs to do. I had to do this for myself. I had to rewire my own brain. And it came to me while I was driving down the road. And not everybody's like this, but a lot of people are. So I'm gonna say it again. When you're driving down the road and you see a cop car has someone pulled over, do you think, what did they do? Or do you think, what are they accused of doing? It's a simple distinction. Most people probably don't even think about it. But our first reactions for a lot of people is, what did that person do? I wonder what they did. Why is the cop searching that guy? Why is the cop searching that guy? Is it justified? Did they consent? Should they have consented? Do they even know they can't or they don't have to consent? These are the questions we should be asking. That's justice. But instead, most of us have become so conditioned and accustomed and indoctrinated to the way that we interact with the state through the police at a level that is so far out of whack with human history. We have so much more police interaction now than we've ever had. Ever. And we're conditioned to think that they're like a part of normal society, walking around. Like that cops just walk up to people and stop them and ask them what they're doing. Hey, can I see your ID? Like that's normal. You ever gone up to someone? Hey, can I see your ID? Yeah. Hey, buddy, I see you sitting on that wall there. Can I see your ID? Oh, that's a nice park bench you found to sit down on or lay down on. What's your ID? What's your ID? Go try it. Try it. Go up to someone and say, hey, man, what's up? Can I see your identification? Because most of the time that cops do it, that's what they're doing. They're walking up saying, hey, can I see your identification? And most of the time, people have the right to say, nah, it's cool. Just walk in here. And they'll go, okay, cool. But people don't know that. We become so accustomed to this intervention by police. And police, a lot of the police I know, this is not on the cops. It's not, I'm ripping on cops here. A lot of the cops I know, they don't want to bother people. They don't want to do anything like it. But it's part of the system. It's part of the job that they've been brought into. It's part of their performance metric, whatever it may be that gets those guys out there doing that. It's all part of this dramatic societal shift we've had in policing, where we went from the execution of warrants and the enforcement of laws after the fact to peacekeeping and community caretaking. But peacekeeping and community caretaking is a later product of policing. It's not the inherent product of policing. It never was. We've made it that. And so with all that combined, now when people are accused of a crime, they don't want it public because the accusation is damaging. But they should want it public because the transparency is how we ensure a fair court. Look at the Chauvin trial. Without the transparency of the court system, there wouldn't be as many people with questions about it. And those questions are good and healthy questions. Just imagine if nobody was able to watch the Chauvin trial and they're like, yeah, he's guilty. Oh, well, damn, I guess. Instead of people going, but the state did some weird stuff here, or there might have been there's some weird fuckery going on with that medical report, right? Like what happened there? Now people can ask questions because it was transparent. Because it's transparent, people dig into the jurors who decide to come out, right? Who decide to be public. But that transparency saves people from prison. Dr. Schockler, you said people aren't stupid, man. I beg to differ. Have you met people? Have you met people? All right. Mega Mobas. Hey, this is on the same subject. It says the viral Judge Middleton got yelled at and unyelled at by Michigan, not Oklahoma. I was saying Oklahoma. It's Michigan. Of course it wouldn't be Oklahoma. My bad. I don't know why I had Oklahoma in my head. Michigan Supreme Court about the buttfucker 3000 stuff. Told him to stop, but not stop streaming his court cases. Judge Middleton is a hero. There were a few articles about it. Yeah, there weren't just a few articles. They also had, I mean, he did a live stream and talked about it. Mither and Emmer says, exactly, Nick. If I talked to my parents that way, I'd be looking for a new place to live. After I woke up, after I regained consciousness, after my dad knocked me the F out. I cannot imagine. Heck, policeman says, what good is transparency when the system is rigged already and no one can do a damn thing to change it? People do a damn thing to change rigged systems every day. Stop using the Chauvin case as your sole barometer of justice. But it's because it's that transparency helps a lot of people. It really does. And the system has problems, but I'd take it over other systems. Still, I can't think of a different, like if I had to be tried anywhere in the world, I'd still pick America. Secularis says, hey, Nick, off topic, but I saw Vic post a Twitter update yesterday that he was doing some new VA work. Just wanted to express how happy I am that our boy can continue to do work despite the forces arrayed against him. Yeah, I don't even know what the project's about. The Field, you say you'd pick America 10 years ago. What would you pick today, though? Let's see. Mither and Emmer says Middleton is in Michigan. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was heated. I was heated up. After the public reaction to his farewell video, the Michigan Supreme Court is already backpedaling, saying Middleton misunderstood what they said, so he might be coming back to YouTube. Good rant, though. Yeah, he didn't misunderstand what they said. He didn't misunderstand a single word of it. Hated 7 Days to Die says, well, thank you for the long monologue on that topic. Much appreciated. On another note, can you do Az's gay British scholar voice? No, that's his. That's Az's copyright. I'm not going to infringe on that. He'll strike me. But maybe we can get him back on to do it soon. Kyra says, abso-fucking-trocity, Nick Ricada, 5/19/2021. Yes, thank you. That was on the fly. I don't know what it even means. Fox McLeod says, first of all, killer rant, Nick. Secondly, is it possible for O'Keefe to use that latest hit piece from New York Times as evidence in his current lawsuit? Maybe. Not directly, because he's talking like it's not directly related to the claim in the suit, although he can use it as existence of ongoing defamatory writing. But this one was written a little more carefully. Like they disclaim knowledge that James O'Keefe actually has anything to do with it, or that Project Veritas does in the article. They just use the headline and the ignorance of the main media to go ahead and repeat the message. So the New York Times says that Project Veritas people are involved in this undercover plot against some DOJ official, right? They do that, and they write the article, and they say, well, but it's unconfirmed and unclear at this time if Project Veritas funded it or if they directed it or anything, but some of their people were in it. And then the rest of the media cites the New York Times article, but then their headline says Project Veritas directs action into this person. So even though it's disclaimed in the actual New York Times text, they know that the other people are just drafting the headline. And so they're going to draft off that headline, and then they'll just run with their own one step further headline because they want the click, right? New York Times got the click. Now they want the click. And then that's how this thing goes. That's how it builds on each other. And you could see it happening everywhere. Okay. Next. I guess we go to this Joshua Moon thing. This is only a couple pages long. I mean, the whole filing here is 22 pages long, but the actual legal document is about 5 or 6. So it shan't take all that long to get through. Oh, completely off topic, though. Lady Rackets and I just finished the 10th episode of Woo Assassins, which stars the guy from The Raid, Rama, which is why we watched it, because The Raid was great. It also stars Ryu from the live-action Street Fighter movie with Van Damme in it. Yeah, that guy is in this. But he's Chinese in this, so I don't know if he's Chinese or Japanese. I don't know which one it is. Angry Baneling, his name is Rama in the movie The Raid. But God, the last episode was trash. It was actually really, really terrible. The show was kind of okay. It was kind of fun. Very full of Chinese fantasy. I don't know if it's an actual like Chinese mythological story, but that's what that's supposed to look like anyway. And it was kind of fun, but the ending was really, really bad. Anyway, just wanted to bring, I don't know why I brought that up, but it was right before this show. So we finished the last episode of the first season. If there's a second season, I'll be shocked, because they're setting it up for a second season, but all of the setup was god awful. But Asian storytelling, I guess, is weird. I don't know if it was, I don't know. It's a Netflix production, so who knows what it even was. All right. We've got Russell G. Greer versus Joshua Moon. So this is the reply memorandum to plaintiff's opposition to defendant's 12B6 motion to dismiss all claims. So Josh has filed a motion to dismiss under Federal Rule 12B6, which means that they didn't that Russell Greer did not state a claim upon which the court could grant relief. Russell responded to that motion to dismiss, and then Joshua Moon is replying to the response. That's how the procedure goes in motion practice in federal court. So that's what we have. All right. Defendants Joshua Moon and Kiwi Farms, bind through their attorney of record, hereby file this memorandum. Argument. Plaintiff has not provided facts that show he is entitled to legal relief. We've got plaintiff's claim should be dismissed, not because plaintiff fails to state a claim, but because plaintiff fails to state a claim upon which relief can be granted. Defendants do not dispute that plaintiff has provided the court with copious alleged facts regarding conduct of defendants, but plaintiff has failed to show how those alleged facts entitled him to any sort of legal relief. As shown in defendant's motion to dismiss, plaintiff's claims fail because of the statute of limitations and because plaintiff has failed to show a prima facie case for his claims. Therefore, the alleged facts fail to show how defendant's alleged conduct amounts to damages the court can provide relief for. So that's the gist here. Because the statements were not untrue, plaintiff has failed to bring a prima facie case of defamation or false light against the defendants. So, truth is an absolute defense to defamation. That is what Moon is going for here. Oral arguments would have been hilarious, but they also would have been absurdly frustrating. While it is still defendant's belief the defamation and false light claims fall victim to the statute of limitations, even if they do not, these claims should still be dismissed under Rule 12b-6 because plaintiff has failed to bring a prima facie case for both. Plaintiff has failed to show that the opinion plaintiff did not want a mental health evaluation was defamatory. Plaintiff's claim that the term victims was defamatory also fails because it is a true statement. Despite plaintiff's belief that the woman he treated and caused to fear for her safety in his criminal matter was not a victim, the court saw otherwise and granted a protective order against plaintiff. Exhibit A. Plaintiff has also done more than merely reach out to celebs for autographs. He has victimized not less than 2 well-known celebrities by bringing baseless claims against them in court. Exhibit B. These facts were well known in the Kiwi Farms community. While much of Kiwi Farms' online content is distasteful, to say the least, the statements made by Kiwi Farms users were opinions based on the verifiable conduct of plaintiff. Plaintiff cannot bring claims of defamation and false light against defendants for statements made by Kiwi Farm users that are true and expect the court to grant any sort of relief. Because the statements made by Kiwi Farms users were in fact true, plaintiff's claims of defamation and false light fail to state a claim upon which relief can be granted, and the court should dismiss all such claims. Yes, Pauly Shore, we did see that Kentaro Miura has passed away. This is the hard thing about streaming is that, yes, I wish I could tell everyone in the future coming to this stream that we have heard that, because we'll probably get it about 3 more times. But yes, RIP to that guy. Too bad, really. Kind of sucks. All right. The Communications Decency Act is constitutional and was enacted to protect defendants from these types of claims. Plaintiff alleges the Communications Decency Act is unconstitutional for vagueness or because it now extends beyond the legislative intent from when it was enacted. Plaintiff is correct that when the act was first enacted, forms like Kiwi Farms may not have been in the legislator's realm of perceived realities, but the law provides for such an occurrence. Indeed, 17 U.S.C. 230 was amended as recently as 2018 to clarify the act does not prohibit enforcement against providers and users for acts relating to sexual exploitation of children or sex trafficking. There have also been multiple bills introduced this year to amend 230. Keeping this act in line with the realities of today's world is of great concern to the legislative body. Yet they have chosen not to prohibit protection for sites such as Kiwi Farms, even though sites much like Kiwi Farms have been active for years. Furthermore, the courts have consistently relied on the act to protect the First Amendment rights of users on these online forums and protect service providers from liability. Should defendants be forced to monitor and delete any posts on Kiwi Farms per government regulation, many users' First Amendment rights would be violated. CDA is not unconstitutional and defendants fall under its protection. Therefore, plaintiffs' claims should be dismissed. See, and this is the proper approach to the CDA. This is the proper approach to the Communications Decency Act. It shouldn't be used the way it's being used by Twitter and Facebook to justify the deletion and removal of people from the internet. It should be used to say they don't have to do that because they're not liable for that stuff that they post. That's how it's supposed to be. But major media companies are using it in the opposite way. Claiborne and Gersh provide a basis for dismissing the claims. Plaintiff cites to Gersh versus Anglin to provide support to his claims. Not only does Gersh stem from merely a persuasive court, it can be easily distinguished in our case. The Supreme Court case, NAACP versus Claiborne Hardware, also cited by plaintiff, offers controlling precedent as to why plaintiff's claims should be dismissed. In Gersh, the defendant actively encouraged confrontation and action from the users of the defendant's website. This is Stormfront, by the way. The court also found that the speech involved in Gersh was not a matter of public concern, meaning any First Amendment protections would not be particularly strong. A matter is of public concern as determined by the circumstances of the case. The standard is met when the speech centers on a subject of legitimate news interest or a subject of general interest and of value and concern to the public. Speech can also involve a matter of public concern when it relates to a general public figure or one with pervasive fame or notoriety. Someone can also be considered a limited purpose public figure when they voluntarily inject themselves into a particular public controversy and thereby become a public figure for a limited range of issues. In our case, as the plaintiff has acknowledged, Mr. Moon discourages any type of confrontation with the public figures. Or Daily Stormer, not Stormfront. Thank you for the clarification. I'm not up on all my Storm lore, so appreciate the correction there. Mr. Moon discourages any type of confrontation with the public figures discussed on Kiwi Farms' forums. Furthermore, the discussions on Kiwi Farms are matters of public concern. Mr. Greer himself has pointed out news articles and YouTube broadcasts about him. Mr. Greer has also voluntarily injected his public lawsuits against women into public controversy by authoring and publishing a book about why he sued Taylor Swift. Therefore, any of the discussions on Kiwi Farms regarding Mr. Greer's legal pursuits are of public concern and are afforded particularly strong protections by the First Amendment. In Claiborne, the Supreme Court declared that a finding that he authorized, directed, or ratified specific unlawful activity would justify holding anyone responsible for the illegal acts of another. The Supreme Court also noted that the First Amendment does not create a legal duty to repudiate the unlawful acts of another unless an individual could be found liable for those acts. Mr. Greer points to no instances where Mr. Moon authorized any illegal activity from the users of his forum. Furthermore, Mr. Moon also had no duty to repudiate any questionably legal acts committed by Kiwi Farms users, because Mr. Moon cannot be personally liable for any of the alleged acts of Kiwi Farms users. Because Mr. Moon did not authorize any illegal actions, the speech on Kiwi Farms is strongly protected by the First Amendment. Mr. Moon had no legal duty to repudiate the actions of Kiwi Farms users. Mr. Greer's claims fail and should be dismissed. Defendants did not waive their safe harbor protections or fair use defenses. Mr. Greer asserts that because Mr. Moon told him he would waive his safe harbor protection because defendant failed to assert the fair use defense in their motion to dismiss, the defendants have now waived any right to those defenses. However, this is not a correct statement of the law, to say the least. To say the least. So is Nick going to be Josh's lawyer? No. No, his lawyer's Greg SCOTUS. Oh my God, there's something happening in the chat. I don't even know what it is. What is this? What are you guys arguing about? What is even happening here? I don't even know. Something is going on in the chat. There's arguments about officials or something. Oh God. Oh God. All right. Mr. Greer is correct that any affirmative defense is not raised in a responsive pleading or deemed waived, but a 12B6 motion to dismiss is not a responsive pleading under the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 12B. Should the court deny defendant's motion to dismiss or grant partially, defendants will still be afforded the opportunity to file their answer or responsive pleading to Mr. Greer's complaint. Defendants will then be able to assert any legal defenses they may have against Mr. Greer's claims until the answer is filed or the time to file has passed. No defenses will be deemed waived by the court. Therefore, defendants have not waived any protections or defenses the law may afford to them against Mr. Greer's claims. Conclusion. Mr. Greer has failed to state any claims upon which this court can grant relief. He has failed to state a prima facie case for defamation and false light. Defendants are protected under the CDA, and the speech on Kiwi Farms is protected under the First Amendment. Therefore, Mr. Greer's claim should be dismissed with prejudice. Now, here's Exhibit A. Here's Exhibit A. Oh, man. So here we have charges. Misdemeanor, electronic communication harassment, Class B misdemeanors. 2 charges of that. 1 guilty, 1 dismissed without prejudice. That was against Russell Greer. So that's, that's a problem. We've got conferences and all this stuff going on. What else do we have in here? I mean, they've got a bunch of. This is a bunch of hearings. This is the basically the court's history of what happened with the case. Filed protective order. Sentencing protective order was filed on 9/16. So we do have a victim. That was the point of showing this. Order of probation. Placed on probation for 18 months. So here we go. The sentence. Jail. Defendant is sentenced to 180 days. Total time suspended for this charge is 180 days. So he's sentenced to the 180 days of jail, but they hold off on enforcing that given that he's got probation. His probation, as long as he doesn't violate it, he won't have to go to jail for it. But here's his probation, 18 months. So if you were to have defendant is ordered to obey all laws, defendant is to notify the court of a current address at all times, ordered to pay court costs, fines, and fees. Partial jail, fine and or jail time is suspended, will remain suspended as long as he complies with all terms of probation. Mental health evaluation, screening, and complete any recommended counseling. Ordered to report to a court-approved treatment agency within 48 hours. And then, let's see. Complete assessment and show proof of 90 days. Psychosexual evaluation. Oh, they stayed the order. No, they should have made him undergo the psychosexual evaluation. And it should also be public. So here you go. Here's his behavioral health letter. So he went to treatment, all of this stuff. So that was Exhibit A. Exhibit B is going to be his... This is his Taylor Swift lawsuit. SCOTUS brought it up to show that he was indeed harassing e-celebs and that actually happened. So there you go. And that he had to pay attorney's fees. Oh, he's also got Ariana Grande as well. So good job. Good job, Russ. But anyway, so there's the reply to that. Still waiting to hear back in Melinda Scott's case. Nothing has happened there since March. Waiting on what will eventually happen in this case. Obviously, the judge should be dismissing this case. That would be the correct outcome here. Anything other than that would actually be very, very silly. It's not outside of the realm of possibility that it would go past the motion to dismiss, but it absolutely should, because there's nothing that Josh or Kiwi Farms should be held liable for in this case. Now, does Russ have a claim against particular users on Kiwi Farms? Maybe, right? For the copyright infringement stuff, very possible. For defamation, less likely, because everything they're saying is true. Hey, Philly, do I see what's up here? No, I started reading for 2 seconds and I got extremely bored. Why don't you tag me and tell me what's up? I don't know what's going on. No, Baneling, the lighting is on. Everything's the same. I just look different. Okay. We need more. At 1,000 likes, I'm going to switch to bad whiskey because I want to get rid of it. VVLMM. I don't know what the drama's about. I don't know. I can't get a summary. You called them stupid and they won't stop whining about it. Okay. I guess they could petition the mods. See if that helps. IWD, welcome to Super Lawyer status. It is much appreciated. Thank you for joining the channel. Let's take a look at Texas. All right. I'll answer this question out of order because it's in line with the topic and I happen to see it. But IWD says, what does it take to get labeled a vexatious litigant? Because the guy suing Moon seems like he fits the criteria. Greer absolutely fits the criteria, of a vexatious litigant. But typically you have to sue the same person frivolously a couple times and then have a judge rule on it. It hasn't happened yet. Oh my God. All of a sudden being called a racist and asked what got into your tampon. Well, I mean, did something? I don't know. The mods are what's doing it. I know, that was the joke. Everybody needs to settle down. Don't make me come in there, you rotten kids. If they're bantering at you, banter back. Banter back hard. Call them a bunch of pussies or something. Mods are gay. Hey, take that. What up, mods? That's right. I can change any one of you's sexualities in a moment. All I have to do, you're walking around, you're like, I'm a cis hetero white man. And I just click add moderator and bam! Suddenly you've got a lisp and a man purse. What up? You got no chance. No chance. Oh, boy. All right. Governor Greg Abbott signs into law one of nation's strictest abortion measures, banning procedure as early as 6 weeks into a pregnancy. This actually is not true. This is not true at all. This is a misstatement of the law, which makes it funny because they're gonna admit to the misstatement of the law in just a minute. But oh boy. The signing of the bill opens a new frontier in the battle over abortion restrictions as first of its kind legal provisions intended to make the law harder to challenge are poised to be tested in the courts. This is by Shannon Najmabadi. Look, I'm Shannon Najmabadi. Najmabadi. Abortion saves lives. That's a new one. How, like, look. Lots of people are fine with abortion. Lots of people don't care. You know, whatever. But someone logic me this. Because I'm, like, I can't figure out at all how that works. Like that one I don't get. We demand bodily autonomy. Well, that's true. This is very important because they had no autonomous control over the fact that that a bunch of semen just happened to find its way into their lady crevices and they got pregnant. They had no idea how it happened. They had no control over that. There was no autonomy in the decision. And look, it just happened. They were just laying there one day. They woke up and then bam, 9 months pregnant. Abortion is a human right. I'm not sure where abortion has ever been a human right. But abortion out loud. So here we go. What is that writing in Arabic on her arm? Are Arabic speaking nations big on abortion? That's not cursive. It's in Hebrew. Are the Jews big aborters? It's actually just Elvish. It's what's written around the ring, except it's on her arm. I mean, it just, to me, it's always interesting to see that stuff, right? In my opinion. But anyway, just an observation. Well, Ryo Hoshi, it's also really blurry because it just doesn't zoom in very well. Okay, here we go. She's overwriting all her baby daddy's names. Oh no. Oh no. Some of these chicks are like reverse orphanages, man. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. When you have a membership card to Planned Parenthood, like, you need to reevaluate your life choices. That's all. I'm not here to slut shame. I am, though. Like, womb wraith. I saw a thing a while back, and it was like a guy saying, "You expect me to go down on that haunted house you have down there?" No, thank you. No, thank you. Yeah, do they have like I swear for some of these chicks they got bulk abortion discounts. Governor Greg Abbott signed into law Wednesday a measure that would prohibit in Texas abortions as early as 6 weeks before some women know they are pregnant, and open the door for almost any private citizen to sue abortion providers and others. This is the trick. This is the trick. While it says any, you typically need to have a loss to be able to recuperate, right? So any private citizen suing an abortion provider and others is one thing, but it's specific private citizens that are likely to sue. And this is what has them, they're not really sure on how to approach this, because the state does not actually intervene in this at all. It's not illegal, and no state actor can bring the charge. So Greg Abbott can't bring the charge. Ken Paxton can't bring the charge. Your county clerk can't bring the charge. County social worker can't file the claim. The county can't file a claim. City can't file a claim. Only private citizens can file the claim. So here is the question: who sues, right? Maybe a grandparent, maybe. Or maybe a presumptive dad who said, "Hey, wait, I wanted that baby. You don't want the baby. That's fine. Nobody trusts you with the baby, but I wanted that baby. I would raise that baby. That's mine." Now suddenly you've got an interested party who suffered loss, suffered damages, as a private citizen, can raise a civil lawsuit against a bunch of people. Signing of the bill opens a new frontier in the battle over abortion restrictions, as first of its kind legal provisions intended to make the law harder to block are poised to be tested in the courts. Abortion rights advocates have promised to challenge the new law, which they consider one of the most extreme nationwide and the strictest in Texas since the landmark Roe v. Wade decision. It would amount to an outright ban on abortions, as the 6-week cutoff is 2 weeks after a missed menstrual cycle, opponents say. But it wouldn't be an outright ban on abortions. If there's no one injured by the abortion, they can't bring the suit. Daniel Conforti, it happened to you personally? Dude, I am sorry to hear that. That fucking sucks. The law takes effect in September. Quote, our creator endowed us with the right to life, and yet millions of children lose their right to life every year because of abortion, Abbott said in a bill signing ceremony captured on videos posted on social media. The legislature worked together on a bipartisan basis to pass a bill that I'm about to sign that ensures that the life of every unborn child who has a heartbeat will be saved from the ravages of abortion. The governor's signature comes just after the U.S. Supreme Court said it would hear a case concerning a Mississippi law that would ban most abortions after 15 weeks, and which could lead to new limits on abortion rights. It's not a limit on an abortion. Abortion rights are false. They're a fiction. You don't need to have abortion rights. Tons of states, like we could, if Roe versus Wade was overturned tomorrow, every state that has legal abortion today would have legal abortion tomorrow. Which, by the way, would be all 50 of them. If Roe versus Wade were overturned by the Supreme Court tomorrow, abortion would be legal in all 50 states tomorrow. There you go. That's the reality. That's the reality on this abortion stuff. And it's amazing that that's always left out. They would have to go through the legislatures of the states individually, and those individual state legislatures would have to then outlaw it. Now, certainly some would do that. Texas very likely would do that. Oklahoma, strong possibility. Utah, strong possibility, right? Georgia, South Carolina, Florida, lots of southern states. They would be working on it. It would take time. But hey, you could just move. The governor's signature comes just after the U.S. Supreme Court. Oh, wait. It is the first major abortion case heard before the court's newly expanded conservative majority and could have far-reaching effects for Texas, where a pending bill would outlaw nearly all abortions if the Supreme Court overruled Roe v. Wade. Senate Bill 8 was a top priority for Republican lawmakers, nearly all of whom signed on as an author or sponsor of the measure. The bill bans abortions after a fetal heartbeat has been detected. It includes cases where the woman was impregnated as a result of rape or incest. Whoa! There is an exception for medical emergencies. That's the best. You can throw a medical emergency exception in basically every abortion bill. And let me hit you with the red-pilled reality on that. There is no medical necessary abortion. Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. The idea of like an ectopic pregnancy where they have to abort, that's like not even close to a viable pregnancy. It will kill the mom if it's allowed to go, but that's a hysterectomy typically, either a partial or complete hysterectomy that occurs with those types of ectopic pregnancies and corneal implantations. But every like medically necessary abortion can be served by simply taking the baby out. It works. Preeclampsia, again, you deliver the baby. Cesarean. Now, some of the babies don't survive. No, if you bleed out. You bleed out after the delivery. Like, you don't bleed out prior to it. But you just have a cesarean and take the baby out. That's how medical emergencies are dealt with later on in this. But the amount of times that a medically necessary abortion has been performed is unreported, and it's extremely low. You can find OBGYNs who have never, ever even come close to having to perform one because they're almost entirely a fiction. Certainly there's some rare instance where it might occur, but you can have that exception in every single bill. And guess what? You'll probably never have one in the state. I think it was Ireland did a study on it, actually, and they checked, I think it was from 1969 to something like the late 90s or 2000s. It was over 30 years that they did this study, and there was one, and its diagnosis was questionable. It's amazing. It's amazing. Put it in every bill. I will caveat, medically necessary abortions, of course you have to have those. Because they're basically not going to occur. Automata says, wait, does the Supreme Court case have the possible outcoming of actually banning any activity at all? Sure. They could uphold the law and say that 15 weeks is what the state determined to be fetal viability, and that under Planned Parenthood versus Casey, without even overturning Planned Parenthood versus Casey or Roe versus Wade, they could say that 15 weeks is a state-determined fetal viability, and therefore, since the state has determined that, that is the limit on abortions. And so abortions after 15 weeks are not permitted. The Supreme Court could absolutely rule that, and it would not overturn Roe versus Wade or Planned Parenthood versus Casey. The other thing that they could do is they could overturn Roe or Planned Parenthood. They could do that. I don't think they're likely to do that, but it's possible. Grand Kai 9 says, hey, it saves lives of OnlyFans stars, and you know it. I mean, your wife's boyfriend Tyrone does. Don't be a bigot. Abortions are crucial. So thank him for your switch. Okay. All right, here we go. All right. The bill bans abortions after a fetal heartbeat has been detected. Oh, yeah. Exception for medical emergencies. Similar heartbeat bills have been passed by other states and held up by the courts, but Texas's version has a twist. Instead of having the government enforce the law, the bill turns the reins over to private citizens, who are newly empowered to sue abortion providers or anyone who helps someone get an abortion after a fetal heartbeat has been detected. The person would not have to be connected to someone who had an abortion or to a provider to sue. I mean, ultimately, they would be subject to an immediate motion to dismiss if they didn't show how they were damaged by it. So I think that's overstating the reality of the bill, but proponents of the new law hope to get around the legal challenges that have tied up abortion restrictions in the courts. While abortion providers typically sue the state to stop a restrictive abortion law from taking effect, there's no state official enforcing Senate Bill 8. So there's no one to sue, the bill's proponents say. It's a very unique law, and it's a very clever law, said Josh Blackman, constitutional law professor at South Texas College of Law in Houston. Planned Parenthood can't go to court and sue Attorney General Ken Paxton like they usually would because he has no role in enforcing the statute. They have to basically sit and wait to be sued. Josh Blackman is the attorney for the Second Amendment Foundation. He's a very interesting guy, by the way. Legal experts have been divided on the strategy, and abortion rights advocates have said they plan to fight regardless. Well, of course, they have nothing else to do in their lives because they don't have any fucking kids to chase after. Elizabeth Smith, Chief Counsel for State Policy and Advocacy at the Center for Reproductive Rights, which has represented abortion providers who have sued Texas officials, said it and other abortion rights organizations are not going to let this 6-week ban go unchallenged. Drusilla Tigner, policy and advocacy strategist of the American Civil Liberties Union of Texas, said the governor's swipe of a pen can't change the Constitution. While the law amounts to the most extreme abortion ban in the country, abortion is both legal in Texas and supported by the majority of Texans, Tigner said. Those are always great. Well, the majority of people support it. Okay. Do they actually, or are they resigned to it? Let's see. Abortion rights advocates and lawyers say the new law would allow for a cascade of lawsuits against abortion providers that would sap their time and money even if they ultimately won in court. Good. Family members, abortion funds, rape crisis counselors, and other medical professionals could be open to lawsuits under the broad language of the bill, according to legal experts and physicians who oppose the measure. People who sued would be awarded at least $10,000 as well as costs for attorney's fees if they won. I love it. I'm with it. This is great. Every citizen is now a private attorney general, Blackman said. You can have random people who are against abortion start suing tomorrow. They won't win, though. They won't win. That's the problem. You're going to have a legally cognizable remedy because the courts are. It's just going to be a motion to dismiss for lack of any remedy that the court can provide the person. They don't have any connection to the lost baby. John Ciego, with Texas Right to Life, an anti-abortion organization that supported the bill, said he doubted there wouldn't be an overwhelming number of cases on day one, or doubted there would be. Lawsuits might be filed by anti-abortion activists who learned through talking to the woman that she got an abortion after 6 weeks. There's going to be a lot of different fact patterns that could lead to the case, he said, but the bill isn't throwing out the typical way the judicial system works. There's still going to be a judge. There's still going to be depositions. There's going to be a high bar before fees are awarded. The ultimate goal, he said, is to incentivize abortion providers to comply with the law instead of fight it in court. They can easily avoid all that, Ciego said. Have a public statement, put it on their website that they're not scheduling appointments after 6 weeks. The bill does not allow rapists to sue, but abortion rights advocates say the wording offers flimsy protection as most rapes and sexual assaults aren't reported and don't result in a conviction. Most abortions in Texas were prohibited. You know what else is a lot of pregnancies that end up in abortions are reported as rapes, but they weren't rapes. Because when you label it a rape to the abortion clinic, then they don't do things like tell the parents. And there's additional support there, and they don't ask any questions. So, you know. Wick Dipper, no, you're stupid. Don't make fun of me. Don't make fun of me. Most abortions in Texas were prohibited after about 20 weeks. Pill-induced abortions were barred at 10 weeks. An abortion provider must perform a sonogram on the woman 24 hours before the abortion and give them information about medical risks, abortion alternatives, and assistance available to those who follow through with their pregnancy. More than 56,600 abortions were performed on Texas residents in 2019, according to state statistics, most of them in the first trimester. Proponents of the law celebrated its signing. Legislature and the governor prioritize this historic legislation, and with his signature, approximately 50,000 precious human lives will be saved in Texas next year alone, said Chelsea Human with Human Coalition Action, an anti-abortion organization. Texas Right to Life called the bill signing a landmark victory, said a more comprehensive measure was still waiting for a vote in the legislature. Let's skip down to here. Opponents of the legislation condemned its passing. Diana Limon Mercado, executive director of Planned Parenthood Texas Votes, the political arm of Planned Parenthood affiliates in Texas, said the 6-week cutoff amounted to an effective ban on abortions in the state. When you factor in the time it takes to confirm a pregnancy, consider your options and make a decision. Schedule an appointment and comply with all the restrictions politicians have already put in place for patients and providers. 6-week ban essentially bans abortion outright. Amy Hagstrom Miller, head of the Whole Woman's Health, an abortion provider that has 4 clinics in Texas. Let's do this. Diana Limon Mercado. Little wide there. Believe it or not, that's a flattering photo of her. Let's check this one out. Amy Hagstrom Miller. Just for reference purposes, you always gotta have people's pictures associated with their names. Just want to put that up. That has 4 clinics in Texas, said the law will have a chilling effect. Protesters had previously falsely reported Whole Women's Health clinics to state health officials for allegedly having the wrong water heater permit, not following social distancing protocols during the pandemic, and other perceived regulatory infractions, she said. The false reports disrupt healthcare services, and this culture of threats and accusations is designed to intimidate providers. What healthcare services? The one where you kill a baby? That one? Those healthcare services? Very weird. About 90% of women who come to Whole Women's Health clinics are more than 6 weeks into their pregnancy, she said. Whole Women's Health has sued Texas over abortion restrictions and won a 2016 case that went up to the Supreme Court. The bill was opposed by more than 300 Texas lawyers who said it undermined longstanding rules and tenets of the legal system, including that a person must be injured to sue. No, I mean, the judges can just go ahead and decide that a person must be injured to sue. Like, the first person who wins a case who isn't actually injured by this, that's going straight to the Texas Supreme Court to be overturned. There's no way that the justice system upholds that. The law would also let someone file a lawsuit in their home county against an abortion clinic and stop the case from being transferred to a different venue. Good. In practice, legal experts say it would be more costly and difficult for abortion providers to play legal defense before a judge hundreds of miles away, and it could let anti-abortion advocates be heard in courts they think will be more sympathetic. Ciego with Texas Right to Life said, it will be interesting to see how the other kind of alternative avenues handle these debates. We know how Judge Lee Yackel and Judge Sam Sparks handle these cases, he said, referring to 2 federal judges who reliably strike down Texas abortion restrictions. Judge Lee Yackel, if you'll remember, was the judge in Richard Meyer's case with Mark Wade. So there you go. That's disclosure. And if you wonder about the tone of this article, Planned Parenthood has been a financial supporter of the Texas Tribune, a nonprofit, nonpartisan news organization that is funded in part by donations from members, foundations, and corporate sponsors. Financial supporters play no role in the Tribune's journalism. Okay. Nova Zero says Angry Bainling is the big gay. Thank you, chat. Natalie Braithwaite says abortion is not a method of contraception, period. # babies lives matters. Right. That's the problem. Like at the end of the day, that's the real problem. Abortion has become a method of contraception. It is. And the logic just doesn't hold up on the challenges to it. Like when they say, oh, well, women are going to have an invasive sonogram to go ahead and comply with the law. Like the law that says that they have to be shown the sonogram or ultrasound image of the baby before they can perform the abortion. And they're like, well, that's really invasive. And it's like, the abortion involves shoving glass rods into their cervix, dilating it enough to shove a vacuum cleaner up and suck a baby out. Like, I don't know that a sonogram is going to be the most invasive part of that day. But, you know, who am I? I'm just a guy. I'm not a lady, so I don't know if having glass rods shoved into my cervix is less invasive than maybe a transvaginal ultrasound. I don't know. I don't know. I have the build text pulled up, but I'm not, it's kind of long. There's not really much to say with it. The article covers it really well. So I don't really feel the need to bring it up. What do we got next? What do we got? The SCOTUS Commission. I'm debating doing the SCOTUS Commission because the full video's an hour. And it's like, that's a lot of time. Fail card. Yeah. The only rule in this chat is please don't spam. You can say whatever you want. You're encouraged to make fun of the moderators, especially, but don't spam. The problem I'm having with the commission is that I don't know when else I'd do it. That's the main issue. I don't know when else I would be able to do the commission video. So we'll probably do it in just a second. I want to do this real quick. This won't take long. Guys are at 907 likes. That means we're 93 likes away from me opening up a bad whiskey. Or not revisiting a bad whiskey. But I'm relying on you to do that. Also, this is a good time to just go ahead and mention, if you do not get notifications for the stream or other videos, a great place to do that is my locals page, recadalaw.locals.com. You can go on there. It's free to join, and you will get access to at least, at the very bare minimum, a notification every time a live stream goes up. There's also discussion that happens there that you can check out. There are various things that get posted and updates. If you want to join the locals page, then you get extra perks, like you get access to the Discord server, you get to participate in the locals discussions, and you get the locals exclusive posts, which is early access to videos that are posted on YouTube, some exclusive videos and pictures and stuff like that as well. So just so you guys know, that is there. I am also, need to talk about this more. All of my short video content is mirrored on Odyssey. That is odyssey.com/RecadaLaw. It is a video platform that competes with YouTube, sort of. They're looking to compete harder. And I would love it if you guys go over to Odyssey. If you're already on there and you don't know I'm there, make sure you click the follow button on there. Watch all my videos there. It's great. They're a great platform. I'm trying to have the CEO come on and talk about what's going on with them. And I hope to do that sometime really soon. But yeah, you can check me out on Odyssey. I would love to get all of the long content over there as well. But their system right now does not support the long uploads. and like going through and chopping them up and re-uploading them right now is a huge thing that I don't have time for, but is hopefully going to be something that happens in the future that they upload. Rumble, they just got a big time investment. I'm not going to Rumble. I am not going to all these different damn sites. I like Odyssey, and that's where I'm going. So right now, YouTube, Odyssey, Locals, that's where you can find me. I really don't want to be on every single solitary social media platform and video platform because it gets unmanageable. And adding all of those, adding that time to my day it's just not something I have room for. Oh God, it's a shit whiskey. Oh, but Odyssey's really good. Like it functions. The page functions well. It's got a good video player. Everything seems to just work on Odyssey. It's good. Okay. Mithrin Emrys says Whole Women's Health missed a naming opportunity. They should have gone with Women's Whole Health instead. Oh, come on. Come on now. And then Grand Kai 9 says public service announcement. Posting Ron Toye's picture reduces abortion rate by 1%. The fact this is equal to those that get this due to rape is irrelevant. That is all. Damn. Okay. We're not going to do the whole thing here. This is just a minute or two. This is just a minute or two to check out. Going back to the Boogie and Frank thing. This was after the interview that they had with Keemstar. They kept talking, and Keemstar was, or somebody was still recording. I don't know if it was Keemstar. Ryukin says, are you going to try to have Steven Crowder on the show? Yeah, Crowder is welcome on the show. I would love to have Crowder on the show. It would be great. It would be a huge boost to my show. However, it's really hard to get a hold of someone like that. So if you know Crowder, if you're friends with him, tell him. Go on Nick's show. It'll be great. We can tell jokes, drink whiskey, make fun of the government, and we'll all have a joyous time. But I don't know that Crowder is looking to do that. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. Andy Signor, his channel Popcorn Planet, has been demonetized by YouTube. Completely ridiculous. Andy came on this show a little while back when he was coming back to YouTube after being falsely accused of some stuff. And he's been working hard, making a comeback, making videos, but Popcorn Planet got taken down. Rumor has it, it's Amber Heard on her menstrual warpath that got it done. Don't know if that's true. Don't know what content was at issue, but they said he was not partner plan eligible. So just Thanos snapped his money. So, again, I am opposed to social media platforms doing this. I think it's bogus. Oh, he got it back? Good. Ignore everything I just said. Andy Signor is a garbage man. Nobody like him. I'm kidding. Andy's a nice guy. I'm glad to hear he got it back. That's great stuff. Thank you for letting me know, Cinema Queen. You know, this is what happens. We're moving at the speed of business here, and I'm here lagging behind, lollygagging around, pretending something happened. Oh, I want you guys to know, I ended up at like 5:20 in the morning last night, beating Cuck Souls finally after screwing up several times. Today, I went on, I was like, oh, let me see if I can do this hitless run. And I didn't get the hitless run, but I killed this stupid thing like 3 more times. It's a lot easier when you're not drinking, apparently, to go ahead and win. So yeah, it's still not an easy fight, but I was able to do it several times today. I wasn't able to pull off the hit list. I got really close, but I got hit right at the end. So anyway. Von Cobra says, Nick, have half Asian lawyer Bill Richmond on the show instead of Crowder. Ask when the hell we're going to see court filings. Ooh, good question. I'll reach out to Quarter Black and see if he can reach out to Crowder or Bill Richmond on my behalf as a humble petitioner. But I'll see. I can't make any promises though. He's got a huge channel. He's a big show guy. You know, I don't know if either of them would want to come on. They'd be welcome. We'd have a good time. Oh, Friday, by the way, Robert Gruler. Robert Gruler's coming on this show on Friday. He is the Watches the Watchers podcast. And I was on his show the other day. He'll be on Friday, and we'll be having a grand old time. So that should be fun. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this Keemstar. Well, Keemstar's not in this. This is just Boogie and Frank after the interview was over. All right, so here we go.
The cops seem to think it would be okay, whatever gun I fucking
Stop trying to get me to sympathize with you.
I'm not trying to, Frank. I'm trying to tell you, however we end this tonight, it needs to end tonight, buddy. Okay?
No, I know. Fuck you.
Okay, cool. Then fuck you. I know you already have it in your fucking phone, you little pussy. Show the fuck up. Show the fuck up and let me put up. Show the fuck up.
You are a grown
Come
man
here, pussy. Come here, pussy. Come here, pussy. Come here, pussy, little fucking pussy. Oh, I drove all the way to your town, but I don't have the balls to actually show up. Come on, pussy. Come on, pussy. Come on, pussy. I'm on your town, but I won't drive the extra 3 miles. I won't drive the extra 3 miles because I'm such a fucking pussy. Show the fuck up. I will fucking end you. Come on. Try me.
You are a fucking weirdo. You have mental problems.
Yes, I do. I'm very open about that. I'm very open about that, Frank. I'm very open about that.
We're gonna listen to just a little bit more because what Frank says is really, really important coming up, by the way. What Frank says coming up is really, really important. Boogie has been digging a hole on this stuff. Boogie has been digging a big hole. I'm really I'm curious what the strategy is going to be. Going to trial on this. I'll be surprised if they actually go to trial. I really genuinely think we're going to see a plea deal come out of this at some point. I know he's putting up a brave face now, but I really think at trial, Boogie meets all of the elements of the crimes and he doesn't meet the elements of the defenses. So, but what happens here is really important. This is why I wanted to listen to this piece.
If people online making posts upsets you this much, you should consider not being online.
Obviously, maybe you should not be online threatening people, you sick fuck.
I'm fucking winning, bro.
Yeah, good job. Good job. Come here and lose. Come here and lose. You bring your friends. I don't care if I die as long as you do. Come on.
I don't care if I die.
I don't. I'm a nihilist, Frank. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I meant what I said. Don't hurt my dog. Don't hurt my roommate. I don't give a fuck what happens to me.
You think I want to hurt anybody is
There it is. Hold on. Sorry.
I meant what I said. Don't hurt my dog. Don't hurt my roommate. I don't give a fuck what happens to me.
You think I want to hurt anybody is really crazy. You are
hurting me.
The idea that you think I want to hurt anybody is really crazy. Frank has made it very clear right there, and I think actually throughout the whole thing, he has no intention of harming Boogie. Like, he's not trying to cause him physical pain. He's not trying to put him into... He's literally just trolling on the internet. Look, if you can't take people saying mean things about you on the internet, maybe you shouldn't be on the internet. And really, maybe you shouldn't be on the internet. Like, it's not healthy for you. It's not good. You shouldn't do that. And Frank's an asshole, sure. But the internet is an asshole. Trust me. Like, you have to have a skin, like a thick skin. You have to have a Teflon sort of exterior because people are on the internet. They're mean. Make fun of your nose. Make fun of your hair. Make fun of your shitty clothes? Make fun of your no finished ceiling? You're fucking mean. People on the internet are mean. They are. You got to get the fuck over it or get off of it. You can't put yourself out in front of people and then expect them to all be nice to you. Here we go.
Frank, you are hurting me, Frank. This
I
hurts.
am doing psychic damage to you, and you are crying.
Yes, psychic damage, but I don't cry over trash like you, buddy. There's nothing you
Seems
can
like
do
you've
to
been
me that
crying
might.
for the
Hey,
past 20
Frank, there's
minutes.
nothing you can do to me that ain't already been done, buddy.
There's nothing you can do to me that ain't already been done. So you can't do the damage. You can't hurt me. You can't. I'm not defending myself. All of this stuff is insane. Terrible. Now, maybe Boogie's just posturing and puffing, but he said it. And when you get to court and they get to ask you, you say, well, I conveniently at that point I was just posturing. That's what was going on there. Oh, were you? I mean,
This is status fucking quo for me.
status quo.
This is status fucking quo for me. So show the fuck up and let me show you how I handle status quo.
Why do you keep threatening to shoot me? This is weird.
Because I'm going to fucking kill you and take pleasure doing it. That's
That's not a good look either, Boogie. You gotta stop. You gotta stop.
I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna take pleasure.
Shut the fuck
doing it.
up. Go eat your cane.
Okay. Okay.
You need to chill, bro.
No,
You're
you're less
Okay.
than 4 miles away from me last night, pussy. You can't drive 4 fucking miles. You can't
Dude.
drive 4 fucking miles to actually
You are
deliver your
unhinged.
threats.
All
I'm on
right,
what?
Boogie, you're
I'm
kind of
playing
losing
you
it,
like a
man.
fiddle,
You're
buddy.
losing it, man. Come on.
Oh,
Boogie.
yes. Surprise. Keem, are you surprised by that?
No.
The guy who's been mentally ill this whole time
It's
is
a
mentally
fucking
ill
joke,
still
man.
today.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I know. I'm just saying.
I-
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
That's what I am.
Okay.
That's what's wrong with me.
Well,
That's what's wrong with me,
Boogie,
Frank.
he's obviously trolling you, so stop
Yeah.
giving him a reaction.
Oh,
Saying you're gonna
I
kill
don't have
somebody
a
who's
choice in
pissing you off
reaction.
is so
I do
insane.
have a choice in ending him.
That you want to kill somebody who's pissing you off is a little bit weird, Frank says. Boogie said, I have a choice in ending him.
So once again, this town is only 10 miles away, 10 miles apart. I'm in the middle of it. You can't be more than 5 miles from me right now, you
I'm
pussy.
like 5 minutes from you at this moment right
Then
now.
come
You just
here.
chill.
Come the
Have-
fuck here. Follow
have a
fucking
soda
through. Follow
and a
fucking
Dolly,
through.
your favorite
Follow
chips and
fucking
cake,
through.
and watch a
Follow
movie.
fucking
Calm
through.
down.
Follow fucking through, and I will
Have
end
one of
you.
your hookers come over.
I don't have any hookers,
Play
brother.
Your weird little cough.
There are no
okay? Just
hookers. This is
chill out.
all more bullshit by you. Come say that to my face.
I
Come
own
say that
you,
to my
dude.
face.
Stop
Come
crying.
say that to my face. Come falsely accuse me of hookers to my face.
Bro. Go
Come
to sleep.
falsely accuse me right now.
All right.
Take his
All right.
Xanax.
I'm gonna hang up. I'm gonna hang up the Skype call, guys. This is getting out.
All right, that's all we need there. There's 5 more minutes. It doesn't really matter. I just wanted to get someone pointed that out to me. Thank you. I can't remember who sent that to me in the email, but they pointed that out there. Like after it gets off, it gets even worse. Boogie digs deeper, and I really wanted to get that point out there that Frank has made it clear. Like the idea that you think I'm here to hurt you or cause you harm is ridiculous. So even there, he's made it clear that he's not threatened. And you can't just mitigate everything by saying, well, I'm not doing this. Like, that's not how it works. But to justify the self-defense claim that Boogie would have, you have to have a reasonable, objective response to a threat of violence or something like that. So you have to have 2 parts to self-defense, which people tend to mess this up. But you have to have your subjective fear. I'm in fear for my life. I need to defend myself. That's the subjective. I'm afraid. I need to defend myself. But you also need to have an objectively reasonable fear. Because if someone's making a peanut butter sandwich and you're like, oh my God, I'm afraid of a sandwich. Bam, blam, blam. And you shoot them and kill them. you could legitimately be crazy and be objectively or subjectively afraid, but a reasonable person in that circumstance is not afraid of a sandwich. So you have to have that reasonable objectivity along with the subjective. And it goes the other way too. If someone would be afraid in that scenario, but you're like, hey, I'm packing my heat. I'm not afraid of nobody when I got my gun. Like that Michael Drejka guy, who was the guy who got knocked over in the parking lot. He pulled the gun and he shot the guy. Like, he may have had an objectively reasonable fear for his personal safety because a guy had just come up. He had knocked him over. He might have advanced on him. You don't know what he was going to do. But he said, I'm not afraid. I have a gun. I have training. I'm not afraid of anything. Well, if you have the objectively reasonable fear part, but not the subjective, you lose. If you have the subjective and not the objective, you lose. You got to have both. Frank has made it clear he's not trying to hurt anybody. I haven't seen Frank threaten anything on Boogie. The only thing that I've seen that's closest, the closest thing I've seen that is against Frank is there's a picture of Boogie on the TV and like a gun. It looks like a gun or a shotgun pointed at the TV with Boogie on it. And Frank may have tweeted that out. And that might be enough. But I don't know the history of that tweet. I don't know when it was. I don't know anything like that. And typically, threats have to be imminent, not like attenuated by days or weeks or months. So, who knows? As far as Frank Hassel is concerned, like, is his behavior desirable? No. No, you don't want people running around acting like colossal assholes. However, lots of people do non-desirable behavior. It's not illegal, and it doesn't mean that they deserve to get killed or shot at or anything like that. So there we go. All right, should we start this? Let's start this Supreme Court Commission stream. I don't know if we're going to get through all of it. I really don't know what we're going to get through at all. Real quick, guys, did you guys see Charlie's video on the aftermath of the latest slapping event between Vasily and the other guy? Did you guys see that? Here we go. Real quick. I'm not going to show the video. I'm just going to show a picture from the video. This is the competitive slapping. Look at those fucking faces. Oh my God. Look at that. Woo! Damn. Wah. Wah. Looks like someone took like the bubble tool in Photoshop and just. This guy won. Spoiler alert. Sorry, spoilers. This guy won the match. Doesn't look like it, but he did. Vasily actually lost that one. So that was wild. Crazy stuff, man. Yeah, the one guy's injuries were all on the surface. Vasily, I think he was rattled on the inside. Bunch of concussions and shit. So that's a wild sport. Man, that is a wild sport. I don't There's American versions and stuff like that. I mean, any sport, like it's a slap, so you're like, oh, okay, well, whatever. But the thing is, you are taking a no defense hit to the fucking head. Like you are letting them hit you full on in the head. That is a head wound. And Pancrase didn't have closed knuckle strikes to the face, and people were still getting knocked out from that shit. It's brutal, man. And those are big boys. Those are big boys. Couple 100 pounds behind that hand. Boom. I think Vasili's over 300, like 350, something like that. And his hand's big. And that's all concussive, right? So it's not a knuckle that's gonna tear and break a bone, but it's all that concussive force. That's how boxers get knocked out with the gloves on. Sure, there's a lot of surface area that's hitting you, but it's all just rattling the insides. Crazy stuff. Okay, here we go. This was live streamed and it's unlisted by the White House. I don't know why. I don't know why the White House unlisted it. It has This was live streamed by the White House and it has 871 views and 14 upvotes. Well, let's start putting those downvotes on here, by the way. Just in case the chat wants to have a link of their own for no reason, I certainly would not encourage putting downvotes on a video. That would be silly. But, just in case people want to look it up on their own, since it's unlisted, it's hard to find. I want to make sure that's there. Let's take a look at this thing. I'm going to fast forward till they actually show up. Where the fuck do they show up? Are you serious? Do they sit there for 30 minutes before showing up? No. You guys think I'm late? Look at this shit. 30 minutes before they even show up.
Call.
Oh, here we go.
And how many people are going to be viewing the call?
Look at this. This is an embarrassment.
Of the president.
Oh, thank God.
Good afternoon and welcome.
Okay, wait. People are telling me to refresh. For 31 minutes, 13 seconds, just in case. Oh, no, we're at 15 to 48. Which one of you liked the stream? Which one of you went in there and liked it? Oh,
Good afternoon and welcome to the first meeting of the Presidential Commission on the Supreme Court of the United States. My name is Dana Fowler, and I am the designated federal officer for this advisory committee.
She's reading her intro. God, these people are awful.
I would like to thank all of our presenters, attendees, and stakeholders for joining us today, including those who provided public comment. Public comments submitted to our inbox, info@pcscotus.gov, and from our website have been provided to commissioners. Before we start, there are a few things you should know. This meeting is being recorded via video conference and is also being streamed live on our website at www.whitehouse.gov/PCSCOTUS.
I know it's Presidential Commission SCOTUS, but isn't it telling that it's fucking PC SCOTUS? Like, I get what the PC ostensibly stands for, but it's just poetic that it's PC SCOTUS. Why is she crying? Because that's how these people talk. All these people talk like that. They all talk like this. All of them do.
This commission is considered a federal advisory committee and is governed by the requirements under the Federal Advisory Committee Act, or FACA. My role as the DFO is to manage the day-to-day administrative operations of the committee, attend all committee meetings, and ensure the committee operates in compliance with FACA. The majority of the work of this commission will be performed by designated working groups who will produce analysis to be deliberated over by the full commission for incorporation into its final report. All of our commissioners have received training regarding FACA requirements and their ethics obligations as special government employees.
FACA off.
In addition, each commissioner has completed a financial disclosure report that has been reviewed by ethics attorneys to identify any potential conflicts of interest. Now, in order for the commissioners to begin their work, they need to be sworn in. Before we do so, I want to note that attendance has been reviewed and we do have a quorum established.
A quorum?
With that, let's swear in the commission members to begin their official duties. Will the commissioners
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God, look at it.
and only the commissioners please unmute yourself?
I like the chick who is in front of the Roman aqueduct green screen. Like, that's the green screen you choose? Is the Roman aqueduct green screen?
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I insert
I,
Allison LaCroix,
Ramsey,
Johnson,
Michelle Adams,
Ricada Law.
do solemnly swear
Do
solemnly
swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I'll bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I'll bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental retardation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I
will well and faithfully discharge
duties of the office
duties of the office
on which I am about to enter.
of which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, commissioners. You can mute yourself again. Thank you in advance for your service and good luck with the work ahead.
Thank you.
And now I'll turn these proceedings over to the commission's co-chairs, Bob Bauer and Christina Rodriguez.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am really delighted that we are now convened as a commission. And I know Bob and I are both looking forward to the work that we will do together as the Presidential
How many of them actually believe in God?
Commission on the Supreme Court of the United States. This is the first of what will be several public meetings.
So, guys, look. Okay. I own yellow clothing. Don't. That's a good pause. Poor this lady. Don't wear. First of all, never wear a yellow sport coat. Ever. Like, ever, never wear a yellow sport coat. But second, never wear yellow on stream. And third, when you are paler than me, definitely don't wear yellow. The yellow is sapping the orange out of her skin. She looks like a pile of wet tissue paper. Oh my God, it's awful. Terrible. Her walls, bro, you got like cream tan wall paint behind you, yellow on the coat, and it's making you look paler than Obama's white half. What are you doing? Don't do this. You got an orange couch. Oh, stop. These are the people in charge of fixing the Supreme Court. They don't even know how cameras work.
Of this commission to be held over the next 6 months. And the purpose of this meeting is to describe the process by which the commission will do our work that we've been charged to do, and to articulate our conception of the research and investigation that that work requires, and to explain how we will ensure that we'll hear from a wide array of diverse voices as we do this research and draft a report for.
Paul Dervey says that jacket has a kind of green screen effect. If I was actually skilled, I would put stuff on that jacket. I would just take out the yellow from the picture and I would layer over like a bunch of Pepes. So she's wearing a Pepe sport coat. That'd be way funnier. She should do it.
For the president. In his executive order on April 9th, 2021, President Biden established this commission, as you all know, and he charged us with producing a report within 180 days of this meeting that provides an account, in the words of the order, of the contemporary commentary and debate about the role of the Supreme Court in our system of government. We're not charged with making specific recommendations, but rather we are to provide an evaluation of the merits and legality of particular reform proposals being debated today.
An insider has already leaked that this commission is an entire sham and is just a setup for court packing. Not an opinion commentator has determined that, because every opinion commentator has basically determined that already. But an insider in the committee, like a staffer of one of these people, has already leaked that that's the idea, and they all know it.
Many of which have historical antecedents, and so we will do some of that research as well.
Don't you wish you could super chat like during this and that they'd be required by law to read it? That would be the best. That's the only way I'll ever support government live streaming. Like if you just accept super chats and are forced by law to read it, that would be, oh God, that'd be beautiful. If I could pay my taxes by a super chat, that's what I need to do. That's what I want. Somebody get me a senator. Get me a senator. If I can pay my taxes by super chat and some asshole needs to read it, that is what I want. That would be the greatest reform in American history. Oh my God. Yeah. I'll make the super chats cost an infinite amount of money, right? Like here, 10 grand. That's what I paid on Monday. That's the first part of my fucking Fed tax payment. I gave them $10,000 just to leave me alone. I filed an extension because I still have to figure out all my business expenses. But so yeah, my first super chat is 10 grand, and it would just be lick my taint Biden. And I just want to see someone say it. That would be the best. I would be happy to pay taxes if I was paying like $1,000 super chats to say stuff for the government. Please. Can we do it? Let me have it. Von Cobra says, Nick, if there is a bookshelf, you are obligated to check for commie propaganda. These are law textbooks. Or they look like academic law textbooks. Here, this red one in black. I don't have mine here in the room, so I can't show you why I think that. I don't think I have any. They're all in my storage shed, but yeah, that's what those look like. God, super chat taxes is great.
Considering other periods in US history when the Supreme Court's role and calls for its reform have been prominent. That's a specific charge of the executive order. And we will actually assess the calls for reform themselves to assess the arguments for why reform is pressing, as well as why it might not be. In conducting our analysis, we should all remember that it's crucial that we are not just to summarize familiar arguments or rehash debates that are in academic literature or political or public commentary, but instead that we are to critically evaluate arguments and claims. And in that process, the president has expressly charged us with considering a broad spectrum of ideas and to highlight how we plan to making sure that that is the case so that we.
This is why no one wants to listen to academics talk, right? Like can we get on board with this? Like I some people tell me that I have nice speaking cadence or I'm good at engaging speech. I don't know. Like I hate in some ways I hate those types of compliments, but in other ways, like it's nice to get them, but I try not to let things like that go to my head or anything. But as someone who speaks every night for a living, and is able to maintain somewhat of an audience, at least you degenerates, I hate the way academics talk. I hate it. It's awful. They're terrible. It's why going to school is torture. It's atrocious. And it's why when you get a teacher in high school, junior high, college, wherever you are, a graduate school, who has even a modicum of engagement in the way they talk, you're like, yes, yeah, I'm going to go to class and I'm going to listen. It's going to be great. And then everybody else, you're like, just die. Just have an aneurysm, please. Just die so you stop talking. God, academics are the worst speakers on the planet. And they talk the same. They have the same cadence. It's horrific. They're reading off of something. It's got this, they don't know how to vary the lengths of their sentences or phrases. It's the same shit. And they have that little vocal uptick. And we have that vocal uptick because the president signed a presidential order. And our job isn't actually to go ahead and make recommendations, but it is to analyze the current discussion around such recommendations. Now, we're not going to go into all of the precedent that's out there. We're not going to visit things that are present in academic literature. However, we are going, and it's almost like a rhyme scheme, but it's a cadence scheme. And it's like AAB, 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 over and over and over with the same cadence. Oh, God.
Produce the most rigorous and helpful report possible. I want to hand it to my very esteemed co-chair, Bob Bauer, to describe a little bit of our process.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Rodriguez. So we want.
Look at that bookshelf. That is a used bookshelf. I'm going to give this man credit. A nice, neat bookshelf like this, you know those books aren't being read. Look at his bookshelf. That man is throwing books up there.
To emphasize that we expect and we're going to be encouraging a very broad public participation. This is a commitment on the part of the commission.
We're gonna respect and be encouraging very broad public participation. That's why this live stream has no views and was unlisted. That's why.
Commissioners and of all individual commissioners, and we will be
mute your fucking system sounds.
Regularly restating our interest in having all points of view available and bearing upon our work. That's the president's expectation, clearly reflected in the executive order that Commissioner Rodriguez just reviewed with you, and that we really do not believe that we can do this work without the benefit of the broadest diversity of perspectives on the issues that we're going to be considering. Now, we're also going to be wanting to share the perspectives that come our way very broadly, and that's going to be the function of our public meetings and testimony, and also through the sharing of information on our website, which I'll have a chance.
Do you notice his cadence is repeating every 3 lines? It's 3 lines. That's all an academic can manage before their autism kicks in. It's 3 lines, and then those 3 lines repeat over and over and over, not in what they say, but in how they say it.
To talk about a little bit later as well. But many of you no doubt saw the information on the screen at the beginning of the meeting, and we'll repeat the location of the website where you can find the information, and we'll talk further about the details that you'll be able to find there about our work. In any event, this broad diversity of perspective that we plan to bring to bear on the work is absolutely critical for a topic this complex. That's the president's expectation, and we are all very committed to fulfilling it. With that, I'm going to return it to Commissioner Rodriguez for a discussion of our bylaws.
So in a moment, I will call on everyone through a roll call.
Nice to lizards. There won't be another topic tonight. After this is done, we're going to go to super chats and then wrap up the show. So if you can't watch it, I understand. But I didn't want you to think that there's going to be something else. Super chats are after this, and then we'll go to Twitch because it's movie night.
To vote on the adoption of the bylaws, which were circulated to you before this meeting. The
You have the bylaws, but where are they? They're not linked in the description. Where's the public review? You want public review, but you just sent the bylaws out to the commission members. Where are the bylaws? Put them with your video. Get good, Scrubs.
Bylaws essentially lay out our charge as reflected in the executive order in the terms that I initially described. They affirm, as our DFO, Dana Fowler, underscored, that we're governed by the Federal Advisory Committee Act. They provide for our DFO and staff assistance from the General Services Administration, for which we are extremely grateful. And they establish that we will meet on 6 occasions in convenings open to the public, and that we will provide notice of those convenings 15 days in advance in the Federal Register. They establish our quorum requirements and our voting rules and affirm that we are authorized under FACA to create subcommittees as necessary to support our work. This commission will terminate within 30 days of submitting our report to the president, which is due 180 days from today, consistent with the executive order. So the commissioners have all read these bylaws, and I am now open to entertain a motion to adopt them. Commissioner Driver, do you have such a motion?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we vote to adopt.
We're now poised to entertain a motion to adopt them. Hey, do you have a motion? Does somebody have the motion, please? What is this? Who's Sontag? Susan Sontag was an American writer, filmmaker, philosopher, teacher, and political activist. She mostly wrote essays, but also published novels. She published her for her first major work, the essay Notes on Camp. Sontag was an activist in writing and speaking about or traveling to areas of conflict, including during the Vietnam War, Siege of Sarajevo. She wrote extensively about photography, culture, and media, AIDS, and illness, human rights, and leftist ideology. Okay, you guys told me to do a commie book check, right? Look what I find right here. The Life and Times of Sontag. It's hard to make out anything else in the background, but the only book you can make out, commie fucking book. Right there. It's right there. So there you go. Let me go back a second because I missed what was going on here.
Do you have such a motion?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we vote to adopt the bylaws.
Thanks.
Thank you. So I will call you in alphabetical order, and please unmute so that we can record your voice vote in favor of the bylaws.
Or opposed, right? In favor or opposed. I guess it's theoretically possible.
Michelle Adams.
Yes.
Kate Andreas.
Yes.
Jack Balkin.
Yes.
Bob Bauer. Bob Bauer, are you muted?
Bob, stop jerking off.
Yes, and yes.
Will Bode.
Aye.
Not I. It's yes or no.
Elise Bodie.
Yes.
Ariel Charles.
Yes.
Can we see any comment? He's just got a bunch of law textbooks. These are law textbooks, Federal Registry books. It looks like here. He's got a little gavel. He's got some messy files. He's the leaning bookshelf of Pisa over here. What the hell's going on?
Andrew Crespo. Commissioner Crespo had a conflict today, so we'll record that he was not here and did not respond. Walter Dellinger.
Yes.
Justin Driver.
Yes.
Richard Fallon.
Yes.
Caroline Fredrickson. Commissioner
Yes.
Fredrickson, are you muted?
Sorry. Yes.
I'm in Rome. Peasants.
Yes. Yes.
Heather Gerken.
Yes.
Gherkin rhymes with Merkin.
Nancy Gertner,
Yes.
Jack Goldsmith,
Yes.
Do we have anything? It's hard to make out any of the titles. Oh, we got Hoffa. We got Hoffa on the bookshelf. That's nice. Hard to make out anything else. Too blurry. People with blurry backgrounds are lame.
Thomas Griffith,
Yes.
I'm in front of door. These green screens are killing me.
Ellie Grove,
Yes.
Bert Huang,
Yes.
Cheryl and Eiffel, I believe Sherilyn is not here today, so we will note her as not voting. Olatunde Johnson,
Yes.
It's hard to. I can't read it. They're coming through in 480 here. Wait a minute. Okay. You guys make fun of me, right? Because you say that it looks like I'm in front of a green screen. I think she's actually in front of a green screen. And as evidence of her actually being in front of a green screen and this being a fake background, I point you to this stray dreadlock here. Okay? That is not the color of the wall behind her at all. She's green screened on this background. She doesn't have like a nice camera with bokeh. That's actually fake.
Michael Kang,
Sorry. We was Kangs. But watch what happens above her head when she backs away from the frame.
Olatunde Johnson,
Yes.
Watch the green screen like zoom, filling in the picture above her.
Michael Kang,
Yes.
Allison LaCroix,
Yes.
Margaret Ramos,
Yes.
David Levy,
Yes.
Trevor Morrison,
Look at that guy. Whoa.
Yes.
Caleb Nelson,
Yes.
Rick Pildith,
Yes.
Michael Ramsey.
Wait, why did it go back to this guy?
Yes.
I vote yes. Christina Rodriguez, Kermit Roosevelt,
Yes.
Yes. My name is Kermit Roosevelt. I am president of the Frog Village, and I would vote yes to any bylaws. Because bi means two, and there's only two genders.
Bertrell Ross,
Yes.
David Strauss,
Yes.
Florence Tribe, Commissioner Tribe here. You'll record him as also not voting. Michael Waldman,
Yes.
Adam White,
Yes.
Keith Whittington,
Yes.
Whoa, that's a Chad bookshelf. That's like an octagonal room. He's getting, the books are closing in behind him. Adam, run from the books.
Wonderful. I believe that means our bylaws are adopted and we can begin our operations.
Literally, okay, look, I've been pausing this a lot, but I hope you understand that the calling of the adoption of the bylaws took, and the swearing in took literally half of the meeting that's actually taking place. The whole video is an hour and 8 minutes. They started at 30 minutes and we're 43 minutes in.
So I'm going to hand it back to Bob now, who's going to discuss our commission meetings that I mentioned at the outset and the format that they will follow.
Thank you very much. So as you heard also in the review of the bylaws that Commissioner Rodriguez just completed, we're going to have a number of days of commission meetings, 6 in all, and 2 of them are going to be meetings of public testimony. We will have testimony in the morning and the afternoon.
How do I testify? How do I testify? Stay away from the number of justices, you commies! You're lying to the public, you liars, you commie liars! Stay away!
Full panels and as many as 24 witnesses over those 2-day periods. Our expectation is that the first such meeting, and Christina let you know that we will in fact have notices in the Federal Register with these dates specified, but our first such meeting we expect to have in late June. that is to say public testimony, and then again in late July. We will.
He doesn't sound like Stan Lee. I watched that Superhuman show. Stan Lee sounds like this before he died. He's got a lot more gravel in his voice. And he can't pronounce H in humans. He says humans. He can't say humans.
We'll ask witnesses to submit brief written statements, which they can summarize at the outset of their oral testimony, and then respond to questions from the commissioners. We'll also have a series of public meetings thereafter in which the commission will deliberate on its analysis. It will take up the drafts that it is developing and discuss them, and those drafts will be posted publicly to our website prior to those meetings. We expect that many people will want to offer their testimony and their comments to the commission. And as I said earlier, we're going to encourage it. So all throughout this process, we're looking for written.
Turn off your system notifications, you boomer. Bloom, bloom. Every time, what are you doing? Bloom.
Comments. And they will be, in fact, reviewed and taken into account by the commissioners. But we encourage members of the public to submit their comments by August 15th, 2021, to ensure that we have ample time in which to consider them. And our website will host a space where comments will be posted for the public to see. So throughout the process, we're going to reiterate this call for written testimony for all those who have views that they would like to share with the commission.
Michael Aubert, you bastard, says, get Lady Rackets to find your dress vest. How do you think I even found out my kid had a vest to wear? I asked her, I'm like, where's my vest? She's like, vest? I'm like, the vest that I wore to my friend's wedding. Where's Heath? You guys met Heath, right? I'm like, where's my vest that I wore to Heath's wedding? It's the only vest I own. I gotta find a vest. And she's like, I don't know. It's in your closet. It's not my closet. Where is it? And she's, I don't know. I don't know.
Now, at the beginning of this meeting, many of you saw on the screen displayed by the General Services Administration the addresses to which written comments should be directed. Let me repeat again that those comments should go to info@pcscotus.gov.
Written comments should be directed to info@pcscotus.gov.
And our website, which is now live, can be found at www.whitehouse.gov.
Just two W's, though. Not www. Just www. Do you know how much this cost? This website had to cost the government making a website.
gov/p-SCOTUS. And again, that will have a host of information on it. That includes the testimony that we will receive, recordings of our meetings, information and agendas for upcoming meetings, and materials that will be prepared for full commission deliberation at the commission meetings for that purpose that I mentioned that will be occurring subsequent to our public meetings in June and July. That is to say, in the fall. So with that, that's a rough sketch of how we propose to proceed. And now I'd like to call on Kate Andreas, the commission rapporteur, to discuss the areas of focus for our research.
Thank you. The commission will engage in 5 areas of research. The first area of research will set the stage for the commission's work by considering the genesis of the reform debate and by defining the commission's mission. The commission will consider why reforming the Supreme Court has been a subject of debate throughout the nation's history.
Because we're conservative justice. Sorry, channeling my inner It's a Gundam there. We're conservative justices. That's why the Supreme Court's in question right now. We know why. You all know why it's in question. Because they got conservatives on the court.
And what factors contribute to the debate of late? I'll pause here for elaboration from Commissioner Rick Pildes.
Thanks, Kate. And yes, as an initial matter, we'll consider a range of overarching questions that will shape our assessment of the more specific proposals. Among these questions will be what problems, if any, would and should court reform be designed to address? What are the thoughtful objections to any such reform proposals? How might we critically evaluate the arguments, pro and con, regarding court reform or specific proposals? And we also want to assess these issues in a broader historical context, as our co-chair, Professor Rodriguez, mentioned. So over the course of the nation's history, what issues or events have prompted serious calls for court reform?
Zurian says this guy looks like he's on a caffeine high. This guy looks like he is a caffeine high. Holy shit.
And how do we assess the arguments that were made back then for and against various court reforms at these earlier moments in American history, and how should that affect our deliberations now?
Thank you, Rick. The second area of focus will be the court's role in the constitutional system. To that end, the Commission will examine debates about the scope of judicial review and the authority of the court to invalidate the acts of the other branches of government. Commissioner Will Bode.
Thanks. So,
oh, I'm officially drinking too much. Whew. Okay. My man has a Carillion Corvette and a Yoda on the shelf. This guy is the stream Chad. I love this guy. I love this guy. He's got his kids' hands on the wall. This is, out of all these people, no joke, this is the only guy I trust. The only one. The only one I trust. I don't even know. This guy could be super liberal. I know nothing about him. This is the guy I trust right now. He's the most real dude in this entire panel. Look at this, man. Oh, shit. He's got a book on Grant here. Ulysses S. Grant. Oh, I can almost make that out. While we're talking about books, I have to briefly plug something. The final Ender book is coming out from Orson Scott Card. The last one. It closes up the Bean Saga and the Ender Saga. If you are an Orson Scott Card Ender's Game fan, and specifically, of course, the Shadow line of books like me, that is coming out very soon. I can't wait. Fucking can't wait. But here we go.
we will evaluate how proposals to reform the scope of judicial review would affect the court's role in relation to the other branches of government, the separation of powers, essentially.
I am 100% on board with taking away the court's power of judicial review, but the Supreme Court, and if you do, this is the only way you can expand the Supreme Court, by the way. It's the only way you can do it. If you expand the Supreme Court but leave in judicial review, you done fucked up. If you take out judicial review and you can add as many justices as you want to the Supreme Court, it doesn't matter, because then it's just a final court of appeal to rule on the merits. They don't set precedent. Judicial review is gone, and judicial review should be abolished. It's not in the Constitution. It's not in Title III or Article 3 of the Constitution. It should go away. It was created in Marbury versus Madison, and I hate it. I think it's a terrible plan. I think the Supreme Court's job was not to be a one-panel Supreme Court that issued rulings that would last forever. I think that's stupid. I think it should be a multi-member court similar to courts of appeals, and that they should take every case or controversy that comes in front of them. They should be the final court of appeal on those cases and controversies, and they should not have the power of judicial review. If a law is unconstitutional, you just rule against the party that is in line with the law. That's all you do, and then you move on. And then the next case, and the next case comes out, and the next case comes out, and eventually people stop appealing to the Supreme Court because they know how they're going to rule. That's me. But until you do that, until you get rid of judicial review, you can't expand the court, because then you're just adding judges to have stupid opinions. That's it. You pick one or the other. We've had the Marbury versus Madison court for so long. I'm inclined to keep it. I don't think it was intended, but that's what we've got, and that's fine. They went outside of their constitutional authority to tell the executive and legislative branches that they were outside of their constitutional authority. It was poetic in a way, but they did it. We've adopted it. We've accepted it, and we've stuck with it forever. Now's where I think it's hard to change. But if they're going to reform the court, that's the only reform I'll support personally.
And consider the consequences of proposals that affect the scope of the court's authority, such as stripping the court's jurisdiction, requiring it to use a supermajority when it votes to invalidate congressional action or other government action, creating a procedure for Congress to override Supreme Court decisions, and other proposals.
Thank you. The third area of focus will be the length of service and turnover of justices on the court. Commissioner Olati Johnson, could you please elaborate on this one?
Yeah, thanks, Kate. We're going to look at the justice's length of service and how frequently the court's membership should turn over. And this is going to include proposals for
with that lifetime appointment written into the Constitution, how frequently it should turn over means they're all going to get fucking Scalia'd. Hey, justices, some of you guys are cool. Don't go to sleep tomorrow.
for term limits and mandatory retirement. We'll look at arguments for particular proposals, the strengths and weaknesses of these proposals.
Mandatory retirement. That's what the mafia called it too.
And some of the practical and constitutional questions they raise. So thank you.
Thanks, Olati. So the fourth area of research is to consider proposals regarding the membership and size of the court. We will consider debates about whether to expand the size of the court or otherwise reform how it is constituted. Commissioner Nancy Gertner, could you elaborate on this one?
Thank you, Kate. We're going to consider the proposals, as you suggested, for the membership and membership and size of the court.
Is her microphone in the next county? Listen to this audio.
And the strength and weaknesses of the various proposals. We plan to look, as others have indicated, not only at current proposals, but also proposals about membership and size that have been floated at other times in American history, including the 18th century, shortly after the Constitution was adopted, 19th century reforms, and 20th century. What do these proposals teach us about what we should be doing at this time? And then we'll look at current proposals to expand the scope, the membership and size of the Supreme Court, and whether those proposals require other reforms. An expanded court, for example, might require a panel system for deciding cases. An expanded court couldn't possibly.
Guys, this isn't super interesting to me, so I have a question for the chat, and you can give me your honest answer or call me gay or whatever. I'm looking for a I want to do some art stuff. I do like shitty art stuff, right? I do thumbnails for my channel. And so there's that, but I have another art project that I want to do, and I'm curious what I should get. Should I buy an iPad, the new iPad Pro with the pencil and the fucking M1 processor, or should I wait for the new Microsoft Studio 3? I have no use for the mobile part of the iPad, so ignore the mobility of it. Which one should I get? Should I wait for the next Microsoft Studio Surface, or should I get an iPad Pro? Which one? What should I do?
We sit on all cases all the time. We'll evaluate proposals to change the composition of the court, including a proposal for a lottery of judges in rotating panels drawn from appellate court judges. And obviously, we are all working together, so we'll consider how these proposals about membership and size relate to other proposals concerning the turnover of justices or term limits. So thank you, Kate.
Thank you.
I love you guys. The Studio 3, man, if Microsoft would announce the Studio 3, I'd pre-order the maxed out version tomorrow. I'm not even joking. I think it's the sexiest computer to come out in a while. Like, as far as all-in-ones go, they're fucking cool. I want a Studio 2, except I don't want to buy outdated tech for overpriced, at inflated prices. I want a Studio 3 really, really bad, but they haven't announced them yet. I'm sitting there waiting. I'm waiting. Oh, God, I want a Studio 3. That big ass thing. Like you can hug it while you draw on it. You got that little dial thing, that Bluetooth dial. I want that too. Jeez.
Finally, the Commission will consider issues around the Supreme Court's case selection and review, its docket, rules, and practices. So the commission will analyze debates surrounding the court's workload and processes for selecting, deciding, and hearing cases, as well as its interactions with the public. Commissioner Burt Huang, could you please elaborate?
Thanks, Kate. We will consider concerns that have been raised about what is sometimes called the shadow docket, including emergency orders and summary decisions dealing with important issues.
Stop pretending you're not reading. God, I hate people who read their stuff. Just talk.
But without full briefing and argument. We will also consider a range of perspectives about the court's discretionary power to decide which cases to hear, about other aspects of the certiorari process or merit stage briefing and argument, and about transparency in the work of the court, as well as the ethical norms that govern its work.
Thank you. So as several others have noted, as we consider these various issues and other issues raised by public comment, we will engage in historical research, conduct comparative analysis, and consider parallel matters within state judicial systems. We will consider whether reform would require legislation, constitutional amendment, or reinterpretation of doctrine, or would otherwise raise legal concerns. And we will consider the relationship between reform proposals and debates about the confirmation process. So with that, Christina, I will turn things back over to you.
Thank you very much, Kate. We definitely have our work cut out for us, but I'm glad that we have a number of extremely talented and committed people, and we look forward to benefiting as much as we can from members of the public and others who are interested in this very weighty subject at this moment in time. I want to pause here before we adjourn, since we have completed our business, to allow anyone to ask a question they might have.
You're asking a panel of shills if any of the shills with government scripts have a question to question the government? Really? Oh, weird. It seems our panel of government shills doesn't have any questions for itself.
Seeing no questions, we will adjourn until our next public meeting, at which we will hear testimony about how to think about Supreme Court reform. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you soon.
Are you kidding me? Do you know how much we paid for this? Whoa. Just embarrassing. A fucking waste. An absolute waste. They're adjourning the meeting. They didn't even do anything. They adopted the bylaws for how they're going to operate. "20 minutes? 20 minutes. "20 minutes. That's all that was. Jeez. All right. Well, let's wrap up this show over here. Have you ever worked in government? No. Why would I do that? Oh my God. It sounds awful. Private sector, baby, all day. Let's do super chats, and then we'll wrap up the show. We'll go to Twitch. We're gonna watch a movie over on Twitch. It's movie night. It'll be fun times. I kind of sin. I have a Surface tablet. I have a Surface 4, I think. My kids have Surface 7s, but I don't want to buy a Surface tablet. I want the screen size of the studio. Surface Studios are amazing. Like their screens are beautiful and huge. It's a thing that you sit at and work at. That's what I want. but I want them to update to a Surface or to the Studio 3. Studio 2 is 3 years old. It's 3 years old. They haven't updated it. It's old tech and it costs like $4,000. It's crazy for the outdated tech that's in there. So that's why I want them to announce a Studio 3. I'm like just waiting. I'm just waiting for it. Vinny J, 2 of my kids have Surface 7s, low spec ones, because my parents got them for school stuff. Surface, like, that was their Christmas presents. A Surface 7, like a low spec Surface 7 on sale was like $600. It's not like they were super expensive. Joseph Valencia, I have a Surface 1. I have it right there. The original Surface. I'm an early adopter. I love the Surface line. I think they're fucking cool. I think they're the best thing Microsoft has ever done, personally. I just I'm not gonna drop, like, Surface Studios are dramatically overpriced for the age of the technology that's inside of them. So yeah, 121 downvotes. It's literally all of y'all doing it. That's hilarious. There we go. Okay, let's do chats. Sorry. Get wrapped up in my own stuff when I drink. I become more self-absorbed, which is hard to imagine. Angry Baneling says, I will never accomplish anything in life and will die alone and in the gutter. Angry, that's a sad post. Why are you writing that? Don't do that. You can grow outside. Does India even have gutters? Bad Dragonite says, so the creator of Berserk suddenly passes just literal days after Netflix announces a live adaptation of his work. Coincidence? Seriously, though, I hope he rests in peace. His work was wonderful. I like Berserk. I think it's really good stuff. Hated 7 Days to Die says, well, then I hope Az comes back on the channel soon. Yeah, I just need to talk to him, have him on and go on his show. I love doing live streams with Az. It's always fun. We always have a good time, and I need to get more painting done. Aspie's PSA says, public service announcement. Nick got cucked out of beating Stacy by a virtual girl from a fictional country. The cucking intensifies. Pixlexia says, numbers-wise, the amount of women who die in childbirth in general is around 200 to 250 people in the U.S. per year. I highly doubt the number of women's lives that would be saved by abortion is anywhere over 2. Just kidding. Probably none. Yeah, it's likely none is the answer. By the way, yeah, Baka did beat me to beating the Cuck Souls game by about 30 minutes to an hour, something like that. But I want to point out, I'm pretty sure Baka has way more time played in Cuck Souls because obviously Baka is a massive cuck. So that's how that goes. Unanswered question says, Nick, I remember you mentioning Roe versus Wade is mostly symbolic now because of Planned Parenthood versus Casey. So what aspects of Roe versus Wade are still around that are not resolved in PP versus Casey, if any? Or is that too much to break down? Thank you. No, it's basically Planned Parenthood. Roe versus Wade is the establishment of the right in general. It's the fictitious creating of the right to abortion that did not exist before Roe versus Wade. They're like, oh yeah, this has always existed. This is a fundamental right. And everybody else is like, what fucking where? Where is this a right? But in Planned Parenthood or in Roe versus Wade, they create the right to abortion. That's its surviving legacy. Planned Parenthood versus Casey is 19. It's quite a few years later. And they went ahead and set some more in 1992. I don't know how many years that is. Brain is broken. Doesn't matter. 1992 Planned Parenthood versus Casey. They went ahead and they laid out how the right functions in society. They had to, and it's a diminishing right. which is dumb. It's no other right works this way. It's the most ridiculous thing ever. Like, it's a right to abortion. However, that right diminishes as medical technology improves and fetal viability gets shorter and shorter. What other right can you think of disappears as medical technology and achievements improve? Like, how is that a right? It's not. And they knew it wasn't a right. That's the whole point in Planned Parenthood versus Casey, is them going, they said it's a right, so we have to respect that it's a right, but it's not really a fucking right because it doesn't make any sense. So I guess. Next we've got Tab says, can we get a round of applause for the mods? They do such a good job. I think they deserve a tripling of their salary. Good job, mods. It's really hard to be you and to be gay all at the same time. So I'm with you. Good job. I'm proud of you. Angry Baneling says, Nick, today the chat was especially unruly. They skipped past 420, 666, and 777 likes on purpose. Can I ban them all? No. How dare they? Big sad. Look, everything is sad. But no, you cannot ban them. Coca-Cola flavor engineer says, thanks for discussing a key part of our signature flavor again, Mr. Ricada. Unfortunately, reducing the number of abortions would make it impossible to provide our delicious product at affordable prices. Talk about how well it mixes with whiskey instead. I don't drink whiskey mixed with Coke. You fed? I don't trust you. I don't trust you. I don't drink whiskey and Coke. I drink whiskey by itself, the way God intended. Malik Foxon says, you know goddamn well some, if any of these people don't actually swear by that pledge. Deathwish says, Ricada Law, I'm at 1.2 liters in 22 hours, so go ahead and try to top me lightweight. No, why would I never want to outliquor anybody? Everybody is welcome to challenge me to a liquor fight and win. I will lose all of them all day. I hate hangovers. Not So Handsome Jack says, hey, Nick, have you seen the little Doom toys coming out in July and or August? No. I already ordered mine, and they were modeled from the Doom toys in Doom Eternal. That's great. No, I haven't seen them, though. Sam Harris says, the education system has failed that young lady. Brooke Hennon says, Nick, please live stream reading the first chapter of Berserk. If you've never read it, you may be surprised. I'm not going to be surprised. I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's wonderful. I just don't really like manga. Nintendo Power says, Kentaro Miura, author of Berserk, has passed away. Automata says, to be fair, nowadays you might not want a trial publicized because a witness for your defense might just find a pig's head on their doorstep. Yeah. Oh, we got a lag spike. But it's over. Don't worry, we're back. We're back. Let me reread that. Automata says, to be fair, nowadays you might not want a trial publicized because a witness for your defense might just find a pig's head on their doorstep. That's the problem. Too much cuckery. But Fucker 3000 says we should just send everyone convicted of a crime to Australia. Let Antifa be their problem. Wig Dipper says, I reward rants. Next time, try to work up the forehead vein and a little froth, not just flush neck with popping vein. My neck was red as shit. I was noticing that. I'd pay more for that. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if that was a lighting thing or what. Father Mosga says, Kentaro Miura, the author of Berserk, died. Share a glass with me for an absolute legend. Look, I'm already a little tipsy, but I'll drink some more shit whiskey for you. Father Mosgas. To Kentaro. A badass name and a badass manga. Not So Handsome Jack says abortion is an excuse for hoes to avoid taking responsibility for their action. Is not a right, it is a privilege. EVS raid. Oh, damn. What's up, EVS peoples? Nova Zero says, do these women not have coat hangers? No, of course not. Tamara Holloway says, it's a D&E when it's a medical abortion. I had. There you go. Angry Baneling says, Nick, have you tried DMing Crowder on Twitter? No. No, I have not. My C Bud says, hey, Nick, just wanted to support you and what you do. Love your show. Just wanted to add a selfish plug on my Minds and Instagram account at My C Bud. Check them out, guys. Minds and Instagram if you have either of those. My C Bud. MYC Bud. Bad Dragonite says, we make fun of the gay shorts too. Paul Durfee says, it's good to see no money went into this commission. Buttfucker3000 says, I wish I was on that Zoom call. CJ says, should have spocked that oath. Robert Barnes, welcome to Paralegal Status. And Death Wish, you as well. Welcome to Paralegal. Death Wish, aren't you already a higher member than Paralegal? You have a silver badge. Weird. Arcadian Twilight says, nah, that's Soy Stanley from Fresh Academia Cucktube. Jason the Great Awakening says, is the communist cunning plan for domination to bore normal people to death and provide free ropes? Yes. Yes. If you hear any academic ever talk, that's you. Their whole purpose is to make you quit watching because they hate you. And they want you to hate what they're saying. CJ says, her mic is in her cleavage by her knees. Not so handsome Jack says, confirmed Nick will make a sex tape with his Studio 3. Clumsy K says, we are watching a US version of a CCP summit. Everyone follows the script. No one gets out of line. It's fucking sad. CJ says, get a Garmin drawing tablet, boomer. Garmin? Garmin is making drawing tablets? I know Wacom does. Matthew Harder says, can your Microsoft Surface crap play Doom, Nick? Raise them on Doom. They better beat 1 and 2 before age 15. No, but from their Microsoft Surface, they can stream Doom from my old desktop if they wanted to. CJ says, what other rights diminish as tech improves? Oh, I don't know. Freedom of speech, association, right to privacy, et cetera, et cetera. But they don't. They don't actually diminish in any meaningful way. Abortion rights literally terminate as soon as fetuses become viable outside of the womb. That's the standard in Planned Parenthood versus Casey. If fetal viability, if fetuses were viable at 0 weeks, we could theoretically take that little tiny 1-cell implanted organism, put it in a fake womb and grow it to a person, then abortion's illegal tomorrow. If we could do that, and if a state wanted to, because that's the standard. They have to allow abortions to fetal viability. But if fetal viability is 1 day, then that's all they need to allow. So it's quite a bit different. Kofi 2A wannabe Hunan Muhammad says, congrats mods, 3 times 0 equals 0. Icon of Sin says, my grifter, check your email. I got you Bloodlines. You bought me Bloodlines, you bastard. I was going to go get it, but thanks. Thanks for doing that. Much appreciated. All right, guys. Oh, wait, we got a couple more. Shadows King 101 says, fuck Az, he never unshadow banned me. I didn't want to watch his streams anyway. Sobs. I'll tell him again. He probably just forgot, man. Deathwish says, I know you don't try to outdrink anyone. That's why I love you. Bad Dragonite says, struggle, challenge, and rise to struggle again. That's the only sword a struggler can use against death. Don't ever forget that. Kentaro Miura. So struggle, challenge, and rise to struggle again. Listen. My writing professor was from Mississippi. A woman named Judy Wilson. I liked her quite a bit. She's nice. She's great. She wrote me a letter of recommendation to law school. And she said, when you're writing a story, right? Your hero, he must try and try valiantly. He must fail and fail miserably. And he must rise up and overcome that failure triumphantly. And that's true. That's the hero story arc. It's been that way forever. Try, fail, rise up, accomplish. And it's beautiful. I just love the way she said it. It was so perfect with that deep, deep Mississippi accent. And yeah, Kentaro Miura has got it. Guts is that. right? Like that's the story of the golden arc is Guts trying, failing, rising up and overcoming. That's the whole purpose of it. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Kidda says, art tablet. Do you need portability? Can it be attached to a PC? If not portable, look into XP Pen and Huion. They've replaced Wacom. Super cheap. I mean, maybe I kind of want a Surface Studio anyway. And I want, when I rearrange my office, it'll be in the background. It'll be over there. That'll be my place to do artistic stuff over there, editing photos. I've been taking pictures with my gay camera and trying to my hand at editing photos. What I found out though is that my current monitor is not in the right RGB settings for photos. It's great for gaming, but it's bad for photos because I pull them up on my phone. I'm like, holy shit, these colors are not what I was editing on my photos. They're way more oversampled. Like my monitor tones down the color sampling quite a bit. So I need to figure that out. But I know the studio is made for that stuff. That's why I like it. CJ says, just some sarcasm. Nikki, been annoyed today. Good. Always be annoyed. Amateur Ant says, in a future life, Nick would be Elroy from the Jetsons with that haircut. I'm drunk and out, lol. Yeah, I'll be Elroy. That's fine. You need to set it to sRGB. I know. I don't know if my monitor supports it. I gotta look. Ferocious says you don't have enough monitors. I have too many monitors. I actually want to downsize. 3 monitors is too many. It's bullshit. My one monitor is way old. My widescreen, I have an LG ultra wide, but it's an old LG ultra wide. It's one of the first ones that they did. It's not great. And its color representation isn't good either. So, all right, guys. Thanks a bunch. We'll be over on Twitch. Oh, Kool-Aid Man says, oh, yeah. I ran into your buddy Kermit at the kinky sex spot because we both enjoy the gangbangs. He loves the MILFs I bring in after the kids pass out from the sugar high. And let me tell you, that 1,000-pound barn shaker Miss Piggy can ride a pitcher. That's disgusting, and you should be ashamed. Shadows King 101 says, a noise an oyster, but a noisy noise an oyster more. A noise an oyster, but a noisy noise an oyster more. Holy shit, that's awful to say. Thank you very much. All right, guys. Oh, Bad Dragonites' plot twist. Your Mississippian writing professor was talking about the Confederacy when she told you that. Maybe. Okay, guys. Outro's going to play over on Twitch for a movie night. Will be a fun time. Come hang out. See you guys soon. Have a good night. Lost Boys isn't on Twitch. Icon of Sin. Have a good night, guys. Peace. Peace.
Oh, he drinks a fair bit, but you realize that it just helps get his noggin jogging along. With his glass by his side and his kids asleep tight, we'll hear some lost-splaining tonight. With his microphone muted, we'll laugh at this boomer until he explains it's all part of the plan. Watch his face become redder as he becomes meta, raging at idiots from Twitterland. From the white shores of Maine to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed to make the law what we have now. Oh, his lady is fair, and she handles herself with the grace of one who has borne many children. As the wife of a lawman, she makes sure that he has the time and the place to provide for them there. So pour out an ardbeg, a bow, more of that frog. The spirits flow as the ones who get unemployed. So pour out a glass for the T-post on Twitter as we hear lost-splaining tonight. From the white shores of Nam to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed to make the law what we are now. Oh, the guests are all plentiful, from Doug T to Drexel. They bring their perspective and spice to the mix. But the reason we're here and the one that we cheer is the one who is showcasing us is Greer. Get unemployed. So pour out a glass for the tea. Post on Twitter as we hear Lost Planning tonight. From the white shores of Nan to the hills of Glenlivet,